popping each other's assholes.
We got finger popping each other.
Good evening, everyone. Highlights of the news. Traffic accident. A Beaver County man being held for murder. It's more later.
What's going on, y'all? You're tuning in to the highest rated, most listened to podcast to ever grace the airwaves, and you're a better person for listening to us. All right, maybe not, but you're really going to enjoy it anyways. This is Made to Motivate Podcast, and we'll be talking social media hot topics, pop culture news, the greatest in movies and music, and all things sports. Make sure you're following us on social media at Made to Motivate Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can watch the show on our YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and with that being said, let's get this show started. Sorry, y'all. Got a mouthful of food.
Oh, please take another one. Just chew real slowly.
What's up, guys? Let me wash this down.
Let's not even talk. Let's just let him do his thing.
Jeez. Sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Made to Motivate Podcast, Season 4, Episode 3.
Wow.
This is your host, Ryan Weiss. I'm joined, as always, by Jesse Young from Sports Illustrated. How's it going, sir?
What's going on? I'm super tired. It's not going great.
You look tired.
I'm about to pass out.
Yeah.
I might fall asleep during the show.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I won't. It might want to be anything unexpected.
Yeah.
How's he going to pass out? Doesn't he do the with the soundbite every week at the start of sports? Isn't he going to do the Jim Donovan call and all that this week?
No. We also got Christopher, the film freak Kessinger.
Yes, sir. And I will be changing that name here momentarily. You'll find out here in a second.
Oh, Christopher, Big Dick.
If you want to call me that, that's fine.
Okay.
Most urban legends find their way onto reality.
So, what is new and exciting other than we got a new president? We'll talk about that a little later. Anything cool, new going on since we did the show last week?
Yeah.
What's up?
Technically,
Jesse's a dad?
we still got to wait.
Hey.
We got to wait until the 28th to take the pregnancy test and everything, but eggs implanted. So if everything goes well.
How quickly does it go?
What do you mean?
You have to take a pregnancy test when?
On the 28th. Technically we could take it earlier than that, but they wait just to make sure. But they say that you can do it up to 2 days after they put it in, 2 to 5 days. We're doing it at 9 days because we put it in on the 19th and today's what, 21st. So
it's faster than I thought.
I know. Well, it's a blood test. It's not just a pee test. So
wow,
you can tell a lot quicker. But then if that's good, I mean, they said everything looked really good. And they were like, you guys should feel good about this. Just try to stay positive. It helps. And
you
blah,
just
blah,
did
blah.
the one egg?
We just did one. Yeah.
And then if it doesn't take, you can do it again.
Yep. We have 7 that we could do. So.
And here's a spoiler. It's going to be a girl.
No.
Yes, it will.
It's going to be a guy. The first kid Made to Motivate, and his name is Pablo. Steph already said it was okay.
His name's Cooper.
Steph told me Pablo was fine.
She didn't.
I know she didn't.
Just watch when
You
it's
can call him Pablo.
When it's a
I
girl,
don't care.
I'm claiming my victory on here.
I love the name Pablo. I always wanted a French bulldog I could name Pablo.
I was thinking that you were talking about The Hangover at first. I'm like, no, that's Carlos. Where the fuck did Pablo come from?
With a French beret.
Yeah. Cool. So your dad. What else?
Yeah.
Anything new?
Started the new schedule at work. That is not cool. It sucks. It's awful. I have a bunch of kids. I'm teaching 5 different subjects now when I was teaching 2. One of which is teaching a group of Spanish-speaking children who do not speak English how to speak English, even though that's not.
What? You're teaching ESL?
Yep. Today we learned months and days of the week and numbers. And
Hamburguesa.
it was incredibly hard to do because I don't speak any Spanish and I didn't have a translator or anything, which I guess 2 days of the week I won't. So my translator ended up coming late because she was in a meeting and she was awesome. She ended up basically taking over and it was a huge help. But so I have to make lesson plans on how to teach them English, even though I have no idea what I'm doing. So tomorrow we're playing Simon Says, Simon Dice, and I just have a cheat sheet of lines. Simon Dice.
Bro, what the fuck?
On Channel 8 Telemundo.
So yeah, That's fun. That's fucking awesome.
Christopher, anything going on with you?
Yes. The new billiards champion.
Oh,
Okay. I thought you were going for a name change. I'm like, you've been doing the Film Freak forever.
Nah, I just want to be referred to as the billiards champion now.
Okay,
Christopher,
all right.
the billiards champion.
Did the impossible, baby.
You did do the impossible. I can't believe you did
And,
that.
and in like convincing fashion
Yep.
too.
6-3. It was 5-1, and he won 2 straight games. And I'm like, fuck, I better get this underway right now. I better end this game while I can.
2 years in
Yeah.
a row, the battle of the Chris's.
And we're both 8-8 against each other now. So
Bro.
8-8.
mhm.
That makes
Wow.
me feel good because like you beat me real bad in the tournament, but I've been competitive and beat you before. So I feel like I could beat him now. Like I was just thinking like, even if I got past you, I probably wasn't going to win.
Mhm.
That gives me hope.
And I think the biggest game you and I had, I think I beat you by like, you had maybe 3 balls left on the table or something
Yeah,
like
It
that.
was
So
the
I
last one.
didn't dominate. I had a game where I scored 13 points and I was like, shit.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Just, they fell in my place, man. What can I say?
Hey, win is a win.
Mhm.
Take what you can get.
Yep.
I don't think anything else. I don't think I did anything exciting. I've been like in a funk, not a funk, but
You did do something exciting.
lazy, like super lazy. I just have not wanted to do anything lately. Lots of Xbox. Oh, Whitey's.
Mhm.
Yeah, me and Chris went to Whitey's for his birthday. It was fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in so long, bro.
I've never been there.
Oh,
I used to go all the time growing up. When I used to live out that way, we'd go like for like soccer events or like baseball or something. We'd like do outings and stuff there. That chili chips and cheese smacked,
Mhm.
and those wings,
Yeah.
bro,
Crispy.
their wings are fantastic.
That's what you always say.
Yeah.
dude. I'm on board to go again and get the wings. Those are so good.
And I was like a little uneasy about going there because it's like a bar setting and
Yeah.
all that. But, you know, with everything going on, I wasn't 100% confident in it. But I went in there with my mask and it was pretty much all for nothing because there was 4 other people in there when I walked in and
yeah,
maybe had, you know, maybe 4 other people there by the time we left. That was it.
oh yeah.
There was nobody.
I also did I did some recording for Evan, my buddy Evan.
Oh, yeah.
At the Streetwear Chef. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Dude is blowing up on TikTok.
Yeah.
He's at like 36,000 followers in under a month.
Shit.
Some of his videos are like 500,000 views. Like shit's blowing
People
up.
love that food,
So,
boy.
I've been
They
going
do,
over there,
especially if
and
you can make it look like artsy and like just
Well,
a dope video.
the thing is his is so basic. It's literally just his camera in front of him, and it's just like it's just fantastic. You got to
Yeah.
watch them. So I've been going over and helping him video, and then thankfully I get to eat the food.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And the dude is insanely good. So I filmed one. He did surf and turf.
Mhm.
So he did a steak,
Fish.
and he made homemade crab cakes, and then he did the French toast with Dunkaroos, and he made this
Hold up,
homemade Dunkaroo French toast with homemade strawberry whipped cream. Bro, slapped.
You just get to eat everything because you're helping.
Because I filmed it, yeah. So we
Fuck
so
there.
we film the videos, then we'll pause, we'll eat all the food, film another one, eat all the food. So I filmed last night, bro. Best hamburger. Probably one of the best hamburgers I've ever ate.
Was it, did you get it like medium or how'd you?
I think he probably made it like medium well. I didn't honestly like it was bison burger.
Oh, I love bison.
And then
too.
it was a crab claw meat on it. He did a surf and turf burger basically. And then he made this homemade truffle, like hollandaise mayonnaise sauce for it. And then truffled goat cheese with the bun that was sauteed in the pan. This shit bang.
No wonder you didn't want to go to work today. Shit, you got a food hangover,
Right.
man.
But then, so like, here's the style. I'll pull one up. This was the.
Let's go. Grab your cereal, crush it up. Egg.
Oh, I didn't know this was the dude that you,
I didn't know that was dude you did either.
Heavy cream. Ground cinnamon.
because I just laughed at this video that one day when I watched it.
Yeah. They're supposed to be funny.
Medium heat.
Yeah, they are.
But,
Cereal.
I saw that the other day. I didn't know that was the dude.
oh, you like on yours?
Yeah, I just saw it.
Into the pan.
Well, you sent it.
I didn't see this one. I saw a different one of him.
Into the batter. Get a good crust on it.
Jesus, man. You know he's married.
Give it a flip.
Really?
Oh,
Women love that shit.
He's that girlfriend. He's on there.
Well, that's good enough for me.
Strawberry whipped cream. Couple more Dunkaroos.
so does he have a restaurant, or is he just trying to do this as like a thing now?
Oh, you want to make French toast with Dunkaroos?
He is he does private chef. He does private cooking.
Yeah.
So you can hire him and he'll come and cook a meal at your place for you.
God.
And dude,
How much is that?
I'm not sure. I ain't gonna quote him on here and then fuck him over.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
message him on the
$10.
So he does private cooking. He's a menu consultant. So he actually created like a lot of the menu items for a lot of restaurants like in the area and stuff.
Yeah, you
And,
told us about that the one time.
he does social media marketing and stuff. He does stuff for Skyway. He'll go there and take pictures of their stuff and do stuff online. So he does a lot of stuff like that. But chef wise, I mean, the dude is incredible. So check him out online, follow his videos. His page is blowing up on TikTok. We've got some cool stuff we've been filming. So you'll see that on my YouTube. You'll see it on Evan's YouTube. So I did that this week. That's
It makes John Favreau look like a bitch.
bro.
Whoa.
No, I don't know.
Whoa.
I called it.
I told him I wanted him to make a Cubano like in that show. Oh, so last night he was supposed to make he was gonna make buffalo wings, deep fried like with his own batter and stuff, and a homemade buffalo sauce. Didn't have the fucking oil though. I was like, "This is the reason I came, bro. What the fuck?"
Dude, that's when you go out and get the
That's
oil
why I
right
told-
now.
He asked his girlfriend to go get it. She's like, so last night he made that burger. He made a seafood boil, insane, and then homemade cinnamon rolls with a maple bacon icing.
Yeah.
Like a glaze.
Dude, it was so good.
Is TikTok like YouTube? Like, could he monetize if he gets big enough, or is
Yeah.
it just like you have to get
No,
sponsors?
He was in the creator fund. So this is interesting. So he started blowing up. Once you get to so many followers and like so many likes acquired, you can join the TikTok creator fund and you actually get paid for your videos based on your views.
Yeah.
Well, so he signed up for it and he was making money and he started realizing that they were like kind of halting his views because they don't want to pay you out.
Right.
He's not big enough to the point now where he's going to get a ton regardless. Like he's big.
So they took him like off of the algorithm, basically.
Basically they like slowed how often he was showed because then that just means more money they got to pay out.
Wow.
Because he noticed he joined it and then a couple of the videos he posted
They're making money off of the advertising, though. That's
Far-
stupid on their part.
far
cheap.
less views and then he got off of it and back up to normal again. So he's like it's not worth the money I'm making on it.
Right.
So, but like YouTube, he could monetize if we get him a following. That's where I've been helping him is filming more in-depth videos that he can use other than just those vertical TikToks. So he can make a YouTube channel,
Right.
do like a vlog style. Either way, if you need like a private chef or something for an event, Valentine's Day or something, he does it.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude is legit.
Good timing.
Man. So that's about it. Yeah. So move into the show. What are you most excited about? You want to do sports, Jesse? You want to start with sports?
Let's start with sports.
Let's start with sports.
We fucking finished better than you, biatch.
Hey, all I know is you ain't in this round.
Down line to deep left field. It is
Like your future with Dwayne
45,
Haskins.
40. Run, William, run. 20, 50.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rebound.
This is locker room talk.
That segment
Yeah.
was so quiet.
Don't try to fuck with me.
Why
Don't
was
try
it
to fuck with me.
I don't know what happened to karaoke.
Karaoke.
Where were you screaming? You were
Yeah.
rocking around. The
Yeah.
whole floor wasn't
I
shaking.
Doesn't matter.
I almost made a meme of that face last week when he looks right at me and he goes,
I was hype, man.
they played good though. It was a close game.
They lost.
They did.
It's all
That's
right.
all I know. Is
We
they
weren't
lost.
supposed to win the Super Bowl, man. This was exactly where we were supposed to be. A contending team that is now going to move forward and get better.
Yeah.
That defense is going to get fixed in the offseason.
Yeah, that needs help.
And if that gets done,
Yeah.
you got Odell coming back with the whole offseason, or they'll trade him for a good piece.
Yeah. I think they should get rid
They
of him.
should.
I just think there's too much money involved. You can't give $30 million to two receivers.
Yeah.
But no,
What's going on with Miles? So Miles, like I know he's had issues because of COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
He has not been up to par.
he
Though.
got a sack in the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
they said his breathing hasn't gotten back to normal. Like he's still short-winded, and you could tell there was a play in that game where they sat him on the sidelines. It was like a third down play or something, and you could see he's kind of
he's huffing.
He went out for a play and then came back in and then like went out. Like
This is the first week since I had COVID, a week before Christmas or 2 weeks before Christmas, that I have not had a coughing fit.
Really?
This week.
Damn.
So if it's anything like that, just in terms of like length of stuff for him, like some people it goes for like 6 months, I've heard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he'll be fine next year. And he's got the best doctors in the world working on him and stuff. Like they're going to find a way to get him right. Like now it's just going to be about him getting over that, recovering, and then going from there. But
Vernon's gone.
Yeah, he was probably going to be gone anyways. But then he tore that. What was his ACL or something like that, or Achilles, one or the other. He's done.
Deuces.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Replace him. He didn't do anything until the second half of this year. Like the rest of his playtime in Cleveland was so mediocre. No, I mean the game was fine. Like,
was it though?
Obviously, Mahomes got
smacked
back in. I mean, him going down is what got us back in.
Yeah.
Should have had that touchdown. At the time, I didn't even think it looked like helmet to helmet. I just thought it was shit luck.
Bro, it was an awful call.
But then they completely missed it. That dude's name is Dirty Dan. That's what the school or the team calls him. And like Kansas City posted the hit on their Twitter and was like, Dirty Dan loves making plays. And so they got a bunch of shit for that. And he's going to get fined. And they were looking at he's going to get fined.
How can you get fined when you didn't call it a penalty in the first place? So one or the other has to be wrong. Either the refs got it wrong.
And the thing that's shitty is that now they're going to definitely go into the offseason because every year something like this happens where then they have to go back and change a rule like the Dez Bryant catch. And they're going to change this when it should have been something that was a 6-point swing, possibly 7. And what did we lose by? We lost by 5 fucking points or 6 points. So
22-17.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not salty about it. I'm really not, because I think they played well. I think that Stefanski's only going to get better. He got out coached by arguably the best coach in the league right now, other than Bill. I don't know. I'm happy. I'm proud of my guys. They did a good job this season.
Did you cry?
I did.
Yeah, you did.
I cried fucking hard, man. I was sitting there and
he's like, yeah, you did.
I cried fucking hard.
Cried like a little bitch.
I did, man. I cried like a fucking bitch. I went upstairs and fell on the fucking couch and just wept into my hands. And like Steph comes up, she's rubbing my back, and it's like
this fucking guy.
I was a fucking mess, man. And then my dad comes up.
Did she hold you?
She did not. She rubbed my back and was like, she was like, do you want me to leave you alone? Like, she didn't know what to do. And I'm just sitting there like, like I was flubbering.
Steph
it was awful.
pregnant. She may be pregnant.
So,
he's over.
My dad comes upstairs and he's like, buck up. He's like, be proud of them. It was,
my God.
This isn't like how it used to be. You should be proud of them. And I was just like, I know.
That's so funny.
It was awful, man.
I was looking forward to him singing like, we're going to Buffalo.
It was awful.
You know what I did when the Steelers lost? Turned the TV off and played Call of Duty.
Because you're not a fan like that. You can't understand if you're not from Cleveland.
Real fans.
There are very few franchises that can understand. I would say Detroit is one.
Oh, yeah.
And Buffalo is the other.
Yeah.
It's all those Lake Erie brothers that I think get it. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of franchises that get it. Detroit fans are loyal. Bills fans are loyal. Browns fans are loyal. Jaguars, they suck, but nobody gives a shit. You know, for years, the Dolphins sucked. Nobody gives a shit because they don't have any fucking fans.
Right.
You have diehard fan bases like the Raiders.
I was going to say Raiders are hardcore fans. Yeah.
Raiders get it.
Yep.
And those 4 teams I have always sympathized with. Well, not Detroit so much because they're kind of a rival.
It's more so because the Browns just suck and they finally were good. That's the only reason you guys cried. If you were consistently.
No shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean?
But I'm saying, like, what does that matter about? Browns are the team that has like the worst record for probably one of the longest period of time.
I think Detroit might be worse.
Yeah.
But it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think anybody can relate to it to the extent that you guys do, but we'll see what happens next year.
You guys are going to find out soon.
We ain't going 25 years, bro. Like you bums. We might go like 5 years, but we ain't going.
You've been searching for
25
Ben's
years.
replacement for 18 years. Who thinks that you can replace him now?
We good.
Speaking of which, you guys signed
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins. Bum. He couldn't even make it on a fucking nameless team. He lost to a guy that barely has a second leg.
Bro, he's better than Rudolph. That's all I care about.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No,
He
he's
is
not.
Better
He's
than
better.
Rudolph.
He's better than Rudolph.
Rudolph is trash.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Dwayne Haskins is
trash.
fucking awful.
It's not that bad.
He's fucking awful.
Nobody wants to play for Washington. Okay, so like when you go there, it's look. Let me get my money and then I'm leaving
He
town.
had a running game. He has a number one wide receiver in Terry McLaurin. He has a great defense,
And
and
the
he
worst coaching
still
staff in
couldn't
football.
Do it. Not this year.
Oh, they were horrible.
Not this year. He's got a coach of the year coaching him.
They couldn't fucking decide on what kind of fries they're gonna get.
Man, he is fucking trash. If he leads you guys, if Ben retires,
If he was going to the Browns, he'd be like, "Oh man, he's so
No, I
fucking
wouldn't.
good.
No, I
Can't wait
wouldn't.
for this fucker."
When I
MVP,
didn't-
baby.
I was on him even when he came out of Ohio State, and I'm a Buckeye fan. I knew he was going to be fucking trash. He's
This dude.
awful.
Let me say this right now, as far as my prediction goes.
Yeah.
So like Ben will come back next year. That's
Yeah.
my prediction. He'll play another year.
I agree.
Ben will get hurt next year. Haskins will come in.
Yes.
He will do enough to tie you over until that next year when you get another quarterback, when you
Yeah.
draft one.
Yeah,
he's-
I don't
not
think
the
he's
end
Mr.
game.
Permanent Fix.
Yeah.
I think
no.
he's Mr. Temporary because, like you said, sucks so bad.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's our end game by any means, but I would rather have him in, like you said, come in next year to relieve an injured Ben than have to rely on Rudolph. Rudolph can hit a couple long passes here and there, but ultimately he's a sissy. He's not good. I
Yeah.
don't like him.
Well, and Rudolph has that chip on the shoulder, especially with Cleveland. So like Cleveland, every time they see that guy, they want to kill him.
Yep.
So it's not good to have him in there to begin with, like from a managerial
He's soft,
perspective.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's a long-term answer either, just because he's
No.
fucking awful. But
Tell us how you feel.
Fucking hater.
if Ben does leave, though, you guys really jumped the gun because you could get Jameis, you could get Tua, maybe make a trade for him.
Is
Like,
Winston a free agent this coming year?
Winston is a free agent, yeah.
He is?
Yep,
Okay.
he just signed a 1-year deal
'Cause
with them. So
They put him in with the Saints, the last playoff
I know,
game. I
man.
was like, huh?
trick play.
Yeah.
But he's still got it. I mean, the dude throws a lot of picks, but he's also thrown for 5,000 yards, which I think only like 11 people have done. So
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'd rather have Jameis Winston, yes, than
100%.
than
And
Haskins.
I could see
But I-
Jameis going to Pittsburgh. I thought originally he was going to sign with them,
Mhm.
and he ended up going down there. Maybe it helps him out in the long run. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think I'll be interested to see what they sign him on. It's not going to be a long-term deal. I don't think.
Who?
Uh,
Haskins?
Mhm.
1 year.
yeah.
He's
Is
already been
they already
signed.
say it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I saw that they said they were probably going to. I didn't realize it already was a done deal.
It was a probably this morning, and then it was done this
Yeah,
afternoon.
So that's what I figured. 1 year.
Let me ask your feelings. Rivers announced his retirement this week. How do you feel about Phillip Rivers? You've been a fan ever? Or?
I respect Phillip Rivers. I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I think that he's kind of like Romo. He doesn't get his due.
Hall of
or
Fame?
enough credit.
Where's he on your
Because of
list?
longevity, he'll make the Hall of Fame, but I mean, there's a lot of guys I would take over him.
Yeah.
I would take, I mean, of all the people he played with in his career, Brady is better, Peyton is better, Ben is better, Rodgers is better, Breeze is better.
Everybody's got a ring though. That's in that. So I mean, that's
That's true.
their claim. Like, you know,
I think he's better than Eli, and Eli's got 2 rings.
that's.
I think Romo is better than him.
Oh, I do too.
I think
My point though is that the ring is what keeps cases like that sometimes out. You know,
Yeah.
people look at that and they go, "Well, we're not going to vote him in the first few classes."
and that's the thing is his biggest problem is I can't remember how many years you have until you're out, but because eventually you're not able to get in. It's not like I think like baseball is forever or something. One of the other sports you can get in at any point, but in the NFL you only have a certain amount of years.
It's
I think
15.
that his issue is he's going to retire now. That's fine, but then Romo will get in before him if he gets in, which I'm not 100% on Romo. getting
Yeah,
in
I don't
either.
think they're going to give it to him. I really don't.
I think that's because he's a Cowboy and he didn't win.
Well,
But
welcome to reality.
But I think like you got to look at those years that he had LT and Antonio Gates. Those
Mhm.
teams were insane.
Yeah.
And their defense wasn't bad either. And he
Yeah.
didn't get it done. Peyton gets in before him. Breeze and Brady will both get in their first year. So he won't get in those years.
Yeah, agreed.
He'll probably be up before Rodgers retires, so I'll take that one out. But then Eli will get in before him just because of the rings.
He should.
Trying to think of like other big guys that are gonna be.
Eli's win over the 18-0 Patriots. That's enough. Like they will look at that and they'll go, "That's his highlight reel, right?"
And that's the biggest thing. And the David Tyree play and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like he sucks, but whatever. I mean, somebody's got to be close to Joe Namath in terms of shitty Hall of Famers. Joe Namath sucks, dude. He's got like 60 more interceptions than touchdowns on his career. He was a turnover machine. The only reason he's in is for the same reason, because he called the game and made football a big deal. That's one reason that the NFL got popular. And so they're like, oh, we got to go and suck his dick because he helped us save it for marketing, blah, 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 blah. But he's fucking terrible. He's got 1 or 2 good years on his entire career.
He's a Bengay spokesman.
He's awful. He's awful. Joe Namath is the worst Hall of Famer of any position in the entire Hall of Fame. He is awful. Terrible.
Ooh, that's a challenge.
But yeah, so I think that Rivers definitely has the skill to be in, and he had the longevity. I think it's huge that he's never missed a game in his entire career.
Wow.
And he played an entire season with a torn ACL once.
That might be enough.
It's just going to be hard to put him in whenever you have so many, elite, fantastic players that are getting in right around the same time as him.
Do you think we've seen the last of Breeze?
He's out.
Yes.
He's gone.
I think he's done.
So
Yeah, because this was the year. They have been one. He's not going back to the Super Bowl. They've had a window and it is closed.
Yeah,
they got screwed a bunch of times. You had the pass
Minnesota
interference call,
Mm-hmm.
the Minnesota play where they had the last second, touchdown and all that other stuff. Like it's just not meant to be. And he's old. He just can't do it anymore.
Did you see his look back as he walked out?
Yeah. Well,
Final look
well, and like
when he walked into the tunnel.
it did seem like it was his last one. The thing that's weird for me about it is, and he's not an egotistical guy, but like it's so unceremonious, of him to do this. So like to me, if Brady announces he's going out next year, for instance, like they will make a big deal of it. Like it'll be
Absolutely.
television specials.
It'll be like Kobe. He'll have a tour.
a final tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm torn on that because it's like I saw those last instances with him and Brady off, when the game was over and they're down there with their kids, just kind of throwing footballs and messing around and all that. He looked content. He looked like he was satisfied, to call it a career, but I don't know.
I think he really wanted that second one just so that he could be in that echelon with Manning, because the rings is the only thing that keeps him from it. If Breeze had 3 or 4 rings, you would be able to argue against Brady for the GOAT, despite the 6 rings.
I agree.
Because he is just automatic for 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
He's the most accurate quarterback we've ever seen. Of the 11 times or whatever it is that we've seen 5,000 yards, he has like 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only player to ever throw for more than 5,000 yards more than one time. Like I did a comparison article on like who the greatest quarterback was one time, and I learned a lot of stuff about him that I just didn't realize because you just don't think about it. And part of that is like people say, oh, well, he was in a dome, he was in this, he was in that, but like he was incredible.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of years that they didn't have defenses and stuff. That's one thing that I can take away from Brady is Brady has almost always had an elite defense where guys like Rodgers, Manning, and Breeze had awful defenses their entire careers. And the one year that they had good defenses, Breeze got a Super Bowl. Manning got a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers got a Super Bowl. That was when they all had top 10 defenses. So if you don't have that well-rounded team around you, you're not going to get it done.
And I think, another testament, we were talking about, tortured franchises. So the Saints were that until they won that in 2006. The Saints were very much a tortured franchise
The
too.
Aints.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think when he won that, especially post Katrina, I think that was, huge for his legacy. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, no question.
Oh yeah. First ballot.
But like, as far as best of all time, like that debate, I got him top 5.
I think top 5 safe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Brady's 1.
I got Montana too.
I know it's tough between Montana just because he won and he did a lot. He had loaded teams, but yeah, I'd go Brady 1, Montana 2.
Love Montana.
It might be Breeze
Joe Montana.
3.
As somebody that played him every year, I fucking hated Joe Montana for the longest time.
Man.
3 to 5. I mean, I could go back and forth between Manning, Rodgers, and Breeze.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like Favre too, though.
Take Manning third.
I'd probably do Manning third just because he ran his own offense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then you got to really start looking at, you got a lot of guys that won a little. You know, Brett's got 2. Brett has 2. No. Brett has 1. Rodgers has 1. Breeze has 1. All 3 are elite. Brett was, you know, the freaking rifle arm, threw a lot of interceptions, but he was so fun to watch, changed the game, you know, whatever. Manning's or Breeze, most accurate, tons of yardage, you know, surgical. Rodgers, probably the best arm talent in history. So then it starts getting a little messed up there.
I think Rodgers has to win that second ring for sure.
He might get it this year.
He might.
Especially if Mahomes is out. If Mahomes is out, Rodgers will win another ring.
I think so too.
Do we know if Mahomes is out? I know they said that he was still on the concussion protocol like a couple days ago.
Today he was worked back on the field for light practices, just light reps here and there. But as Jesse told me, he's not passed yet.
No, he hasn't passed anything. They said that he's taken big steps in the right direction was the direct quote. So
we're 3 days away, man.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if it's the day of and he seems fine and does fine, but he fails one test, you're not playing.
What do they put you through to determine if you're eligible? Do you know idea?
I know it's extensive. Like you have your basic stuff, like your
memory,
dilation memory, like all that other stuff. But like, I'm sure that they do more than that. Cause I mean, they got big, deep shit for all that concussion stuff years ago.
They probably got a CAT scan him too, you know, in terms of just to find out if there was any mental damage, you know.
And his was bad. Like it didn't look that bad, but that dude didn't know where he was. They tried to lift him up and his legs went down. I said he did the stanky leg. That's probably why we lost.
Wow.
But
I fear for him. I like the dude. I like Patrick Mahomes.
I like him too. He's my dynasty quarterback, but it was my team versus yours, man. I don't give a shit about you anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go Bills.
Yeah, so that's my thing. You got Bills, Chiefs. Even if Mahomes is back, I'm rooting for the Bills.
Yeah.
Like I said before, they're like our brother team. You know, Bills Mafia is just like Browns fans. They've been through the fucking shit.
God, yeah.
Arguably worse than ours. Like we sucked for so long, but at least we were like, we could hang our hat on the fact that they moved our team and we felt cheated and, you know, blah, 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 blah. They were good and were supposed to win and went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost every one. Like I would kill myself. There's no way.
Should have won the second one from us. And then they should have beat the Giants too, for sure.
And so they fell apart on that. And then they just haven't been good since. And then they're up in the cold. Like they don't even get to enjoy the fucking weather. Like the longest championship drought is San Diego. It's not us. Well, now Los Angeles, but the Chargers have the longest drought. And nobody gives a shit because they get to go out to the fucking beach afterwards and they don't give a fuck.
Right.
But I'm rooting for the Bills. I love them. On the other end, you got Brady versus Rodgers, greatest arm talent versus the greatest of all time. I know I just said that if Mahomes is out, the Rodgers would win a ring, but man,
I don't know, man.
I never bet against Brady. I totally didn't even think before I said that.
I was like,
who I want and who I think are two different examples in this scenario.
Me too.
So I want the Buccaneers to win this game, but I think Green Bay is going to win it.
I hate Aaron Rodgers.
I fucking despise Aaron Rodgers.
Jeez.
Aaron Rodgers is a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's a punk. His own family doesn't fucking talk to him.
Yeah, he's an asshole. He has like straight up little man syndrome. Like he is just a piece of shit. He got what was their coach's name?
Keep it rolling.
Who's your coach? He used to be the Packers.
McCarthy.
McCarthy. He got McCarthy fired. Like he went out of his way to get McCarthy fired.
Kind of deservingly.
And
he pulled a LeBron.
He was
like somebody, if it's not working for him.
But that shit goes back years though. Like him openly like ripping the coach in front of everybody. And it's like, what are you going to do? They're not going to ever cut Aaron Rodgers. So like you're undermining your coach. Like that's not good. That's not good for the team. No wonder you guys don't fucking win. He's a terrible leader. He doesn't get shit done. He fucking sucks. I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers. All right. Fuck you, Aaron Rodgers.
And to be fair, it's the same reason I don't like Cam Newton either. Cam Newton is a terrible team leader and always has been. He blames the other player, never himself.
Yep. He's got all the talent in the world, but that dude is a twat.
Alrighty then.
So what's your guys' predictions though for the game?
I
said Packers. are
It's
gonna win.
Bucks, Bills.
No, it's Bucks and Packers.
Bucks,
and,
Packers,
Bills
Bills.
and Chiefs.
Yeah.
Bills, Chiefs. Obviously, we know it's going to come down to Mahomes.
Yeah.
Mahomes is out. Bills are going to win. If Mahomes is in,
I
it
don't
still
know.
could be Bills. They still have a chance. I think Bucks pull it off just because of Brady.
Mm-hmm.
The dude pulls shit off. Like they were getting destroyed
Yeah.
last week, and he somehow comes back and wins.
Yeah.
I'm not betting against the dude. As much as I hate him for being so good, I'm not
Being
betting
so
against him.
good.
I just hate that he's so fucking good, man. It just
Yeah.
drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it.
And then he makes out with little kids. It's weird.
He doesn't make out with
Um,
It's Green Bay by 3, Kansas City by 3. Both. That's the line for both games, right?
Green Bay, huh?
Green Bay by 3.
I'm giving it to Brady, and I'm giving it to I'm gonna give it to Bills. I'm going Brady and Bills.
God, I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Chris, what are yours?
Packers. And see, the other one's a technicality though, because if Mahomes plays, the Chiefs are going to win. If Mahomes doesn't play, the Bills are going to win.
I still think Bills have a chance, even if Mahomes is back.
Oh, they got a chance. It's not going to be a
Because
blowout.
Even if he's back, he's coming back after a concussion, less practice. I mean, you're still gonna have, I feel like, issues from that. I mean, like Jesse said, that dude got laid the fuck out.
He didn't know
man.
where he was.
And,
Yeah,
and
like-
that's the question though, you know. So it's kind of up in the
It's
air.
really tough.
I'll just because I believe he'll play, I'll call Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to play. I don't think the NFL's, even if he's close, they're
They're
going
gonna
to
let
put him
slide.
out there and be like,
State Farm going to pay him off. They need him in the game.
Yeah. Did you hear what Colin Coward was saying this week? He goes, the NFL should move the game because Patrick Mahomes might not play.
fuck that.
I'm like, we're not doing the Ravens rule all
No,
over again.
I'm not doing that shit. No, I think he will play. I think that they're going to win. I want the Bills to win just because
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I support them, but I think the Chiefs will win. I'm taking Brady, man, because Brady gets
Yeah.
this close.
He pulls it off.
He tastes that 7th ring, man. 7 rings, more than any franchise in NFL
I
history.
saw that.
And he's going to have them all. Oh, man. You know, he wants it for Belichick. He wants it for that record. And he's this close. He ain't losing the AFC Championship game.
The ring thing, and then I saw that postseason game appearances or whatever, where they stacked him against everybody else.
The thing I posted, yeah, like
It's fucking nuts,
the Cowboys are just above him by like I think it's 3 wins or something like that.
Yeah.
The whole history of the Dallas Cowboys since 1960, 3 wins ahead of Tom Brady, who's played
Mhm.
20 years, something like that, 21 years.
Yep. It was Patriots as the number 1, obviously, but
Which
then,
are all his.
But then, yeah, it was they had
All
I
but
think,
7.
I'll
I
say-
figured it out.
Yeah, they had like 3 or 4 or something more than he did. But then him as himself, top 5 of all fucking franchises. Like, get me.
and he's not retiring, so he could easily catch. I think if he wins the Super Bowl this year and then goes next year, I think that he would be second, unless those teams won, obviously, as well. But then
Or not. Don't worry about that.
I mean, he could be the sole leader in postseason victories over any franchise with the most rings over any franchise. And that's the craziest thing is you've got winter in Green Bay. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter
He's
to
used to
him.
Foxborough.
That's-
It's worse.
If it was Breeze, I would say this game's easy Packers. I mean,
Right.
because of that element.
nah, Brady doesn't care, man. It's whew, I love me some Tom Brady.
Yeah, look at the 4 teams who are above him and let's look at their futures. Okay, so you got the Patriots, you got the
Terrible.
Cowboys, you got the 49ers, you got the Steelers. Sorry.
Wow.
He
What did I
ain't
ever
wrong.
do to you?
Hey, I called my own team in that. So
Yep.
so he might do it by the end of this thing.
Bunch of
It's
haters
crazy,
over
man.
here. So that's NFL predictions. Stefanski,
Stefanski.
coach of the year. Kind of.
Sexy coach.
He won from like 2 lower level. I don't remember what they were called.
It's not like the official NFL voting.
Chris said it best. It's kind of like the Oscars when you see it go for like the
Academy Award.
Academy
Yeah,
Awards and all
yeah.
that other stuff.
Yeah, so like the People's Choice, you know, if you have the People's Choice, you have the Critics' Choice, and you know, if the same movie wins those, you know, both times or whatever, they're a shoe-in for the Oscars.
Okay.
People go, it would be a tragedy if this one didn't win it.
He's gonna win it,
Do it for the football moms.
especially after winning that playoff game. Like, I know that it's supposed to be a regular season award, but like it's in the bag.
I don't
There's
see
no
who else
way.
you would even put in there, like
No.
to contend with that.
Brian Flores shit the bed. Mike Tomlin shit the bed. You could give it to Andy Reid, but it's like the dude has Mahomes and all these weapons.
They've already
Are you
been
gonna
good.
do it?
Yeah,
Right.
they've already been good.
So same thing with the Bills.
Yeah, McDermott.
McDermott.
Yeah.
He just got it, so he's not going to get it again.
No.
It's going to Stefanski.
All right. Fucking Browns, man.
Fucking Browns.
Anything else? I mean, Cavs pulled off a win. We got some big trades with Nets and Kyrie
there's-
coming
There's
back
one
and
big
being a little
potential
bitch
signing
and-
that we need to talk about still.
Okay.
Hugh Jackson is the offensive coordinator of
I
the Pittsburgh
I thought we
Steelers.
were going to
It's a
slide
big
by.
one.
I thought we were just going to skip right by that.
You
Nobody
thought
was going to
Hugh?
bring it up.
Mr. 1-31, Hugh Jackson.
Reverberated offense.
What are they even fucking thinking with him? Why even?
They are
consider
thinking
him?
that he's the QB guru that we were all sold on when he came to Cleveland, when we were all so excited about him coming.
Pittsburgh is smarter than that, though. What are
Are
they
you?
really thinking? What's our record? How many?
Finished lower than anybody else this year.
Here's the one thing I'll say. He's just interviewed so far. Maybe he's the Rooney Rule recipient to where like they I'm just saying.
Damn.
No, but I'm just saying. I mean, that's a rule.
Yeah.
We don't agree with it. I've said on this show that I don't agree with it, but
Question.
he hasn't been hired yet.
Serious
Answer.
question. If your coach is already black, do you have to fill the Rooney Rule?
If your coach is already
They
black?
have Mike Tomlin, so do you have to interview somebody of color
Yes,
if you
because
already
it's-
have a black
yes.
coach?
We'll have to interview.
because
Okay.
it's for a different position. So like that position has nothing to do with the head coach.
Okay.
So yes.
Yeah, you still have to interview for any open. You have to give a fair candidate to any open position. Basically, is all it's saying.
I'm sorry that I said something tense, but that's the fucking truth.
Yeah, whatever. I don't
Hugh
care.
Jackson, bro.
Dude, he's going to come in and be like, Hugh Jackson's here, baby. And
He does cameo videos.
have you guys seen
He's
have you guys seen that commercial? It's for like NFL Shop, and it's that I don't know my love is 75. I don't know the words, and they're all like dancing around and like I love my 75 man. I don't know what it's called, but at the end there's this lady, and she's wearing like Saints gear, and she's this black woman with like gray curled hair, and she's like spinning around with a fucking cape. She looks exactly like Hugh
I saw that.
Jackson, bro.
I saw the meme for that. Yeah.
Exactly like him. I swear to God, it's him. And somebody just paid him to be in that commercial, like he does with his
Probably.
little voiceovers. And he's just like, "Yeah, I like the Saints." Like, oh,
Speaking of which, I want to bring up something similar to that in Let's Get Social. But quickly before we transition to that, Conor McGregor fight.
Yeah. This Saturday.
Notorious is back this Saturday. I'm
ding,
excited.
ding.
I fucking love Conor McGregor, man.
whiskey. Ding ding.
Did you see the weigh-in?
No.
He showed up with his dapper suit on, shook a hand. Actually, he didn't do a lot of shit talking like he normally does.
He seems
He was
more
pretty
focused
kosher.
the last couple fights.
He's grown up a little bit.
Yeah. I saw him arrive on Fight Island with his kid and his wife, I
That I
think.
saw with no shirt on.
Yeah. I was like, that dude just walked in there with no shirt on.
Bro, did you see the fucking like hazmat suits they were wearing?
Yeah. The one dude, when he comes through the door there, he doesn't take his temperature, but he just kind of talks to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was like ET. Did you
Yeah.
see that?
Mhm.
That was wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm stoked. That's the Saturday.
Conor didn't do much for me anymore.
No,
Mm.
I just like his attitude. I like he's just
That's what annoyed me. Like he
I
went
like
way
him.
over the top. I used to like that he was just like a cocky, like
Mhm.
badass. But then once he got to the point where he's like throwing the barrier into the fucking van and everything, I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah.
you doing,
did some
dude? Like,
WWE type shit.
I like him. He's never been one of my favorite fighters, but like I like to watch the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoy him.
I'll be rooting for him, but it's just, meh.
Yeah.
I'm not like head over heels ready to like watch him destroy the guy like I used to be. Like I used to be like, we got to watch this fight no matter what. If I miss it, I miss it.
Yeah,
Mm.
the Pauls are still going heavy on it, trying to get him to fight too.
Oh yeah.
They're flying airplane banners and fucking.
I hope that
attacking his
I
wife
hope they
and-
fight him because I hope that he just beats the dog shit out of them.
Connor.
Yeah, whoever. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck who fights him. I just hope
Yeah.
they get the shit beat out
the
of him. I
one
hate
the
those
one
guys.
weighs more and he'd get his ass just handed to him, man.
I'd like to see Connor. I like to see them do like a tag team match with Nunez and Connor versus
Oh
both the
my
brothers.
Oh my
And
god.
just let them get fucking
Dude,
destroyed.
could
you imagine?
Nunez would beat the shit out of those guys.
I
man.
know.
Dude, that'd be dope though. Like a tag, he just fucking comes in off the
Yes.
top rope, like
Tag team
beats the
UFC
shit
style,
out of
man.
him.
They can tag him into the fucking arena and shit.
They would get hit one time.
Yeah.
That left would come in and just
Amanda Nunez doesn't fuck around, dude. That is one chick I would not mess with right there,
Right.
man.
You're talking. I mean, different gloves. You got no helmet gear. Like it's different than.
are they wanting to
boxing.
box or are they wanting to fight? Because if you get mixed martial arts into it, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, I think they're probably trying to pull like they did
Exhibition.
with Mayweather, where they have him come and do a boxing match.
He did good against Floyd.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he took at least one round, and I thought it was way closer than what they counted at the end. Floyd definitely won.
You're talking Connor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he held his own those first two rounds. Like if he was more capable of like withstanding that much endurance wise, he'd have been fine. And that's always been his problem in MMA. If you don't knock him out quick,
Yep.
you're going to get grappled and lost.
And that's a boxer's mentality too, is to like always weather out the storm and just kind of wait it out. If you can play defense, like they'll be tired by the time round 8 or 9 comes around and you can exhaust them.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I think McGregor in 1 round.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
I'll take strikes.
He said he was going to have it done in less than 60, right?
60 seconds.
Yeah.
I'll take strikes. I'll say 2 minutes strikes.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm hoping I can watch it. Let's get social.
Let's get.
It is July 20th, 1969, and man is about to land on the moon.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah, you did.
That's the way the news goes.
No,
Hey, he got his willy wet in office.
He got a blowy.
I'm not mad about it.
a blowy is not sexual relations.
I feel like we need Jim Donovan to say that part of our.
So you're talking about Mr. Hugh Jackson dressed up as a woman.
Yeah.
What about Trump and what's his name? Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
Wait, what? What
Did you see that video?
You didn't see that?
No.
There was a video of Trump. It was like older.
It's like an old roast video from
Yeah.
something that they did for New York.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And so Trump comes in and they're like in, I don't know if it's like a store or what, if it's like a Macy's or some shit, like I don't know, some store. And Rudy comes up in full drag, like breasts, everything. And Trump like motorboats him.
it's awkward, bro.
It's fucking weird as shit.
Yeah, it's full on. Like he's talking like they had like it was like a perfume commercial, like a joke or whatever.
Yeah.
And he sprays it on him and he's like in the smell or whatever. And then Trump's
Hold
just
on.
full face in.
Now we know why Rudy's not taking any legal fees.
Bro. Well,
He's taking something else.
Trump wrote him off because Giuliani's in trouble and Trump was like unassociating
Yeah.
himself.
Oh, imagine that.
Shocker.
Here we go.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Well, I gotta watch an ad.
I gotta see
first.
this shit.
Dude, it's really funny. Yeah, I watched it the other day and I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
We must commit ourselves to
Is this it? Hold on. They'll show it.
victory against them. There's lots of buzz over Rudy Giuliani's
Oh, Jesus.
Inside edition. You can't stop talking.
years ago when Giuliani was mayor of New York for a charity dinner. So it was all in good fun.
What? No.
Yep.
So awkward.
So it was all in good fun.
You dirty boy.
He did that a little too well.
Dude, it was so awkward. But anyhow, so Mr. Trump, ex-president of the United States of America, is officially out of office.
Yeah.
He deuced out on Inauguration Day and went to Florida
At like 8 a.m.
yeah, right, first thing in the morning or whatever. So
Mar-a-Lago.
did either of you guys watch Inauguration at all?
Did watch parts of it. I
Yeah.
was working, so I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I got my vaccine that day and then I went to the tournament game, but I watched it when I came home. I wanted to check out just like the highlights of it all. Yeah, so I saw enough.
I watched zero because unfortunately I was unable to, but I heard lots of stuff about it. Lots of performers and things like that.
Lady Gaga, J-Lo, Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. I saw, that's a big
Foo
meme
Fighters.
right now is Garth Brooks showing up in boots.
I guess whenever Garth was on, like one of the flags was torn that was flying.
Yeah.
I saw some guy post. He was like, I can't believe they would fly a torn flag. They don't know what this country represents. And I was like, yeah, the Trump flags that they were flying the other week were way better.
The funny thing is, I know the exact post he's talking about because every time he does a reply to somebody, I get it on my feed
too.
and I read every single one.
Me too. It's one thing you can count on. If there's any kind of post out there that has any sort of
I'm on it.
side Jesse, it just sees Jesse's comment.
Yep.
You're a fucking idiot. If you believe
I don't say
this-
that anymore.
Basically, I mean, within reason.
Facebook was lenient with me the other day. I said something and I said something like, are you fucking stupid or something
Yeah.
like that? And
Like,
it
do you
was
really
like-
want to put this?
It was like, it may go against our things. Are you sure you want to take this action? And I was like, no. I hit edit. I'm like, are you sure you know what you're talking about?
It always comes on my feed, and then I always get sucked into reading all the comments
too.
and Jesse just fucking ripping people apart.
I got in a fight with some dude on Twitter this week because he was like, it was over something dumb. I was just bored. But he posted, you know, how people say like GIF instead of GIF.
Yeah.
He was like, it's pronounced GIF. Fight me. And he posted like a
Peanut butter.
snippet from a Time magazine article.
Jeez.
And I was like, dope. You asked for it. And we went for 2 days. And this dude was a fucking idiot. He didn't even want to argue. He just kept posting the same picture over and over again. Eventually, I claimed victory.
Of course.
He told me he would send me a bottle of Jif peanut butter
That's
as
what
a
I was wondering.
prize.
Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I'm curious to see now. So Biden's in, Kamala's in. What happens with all of the hardcore Trumpers and QAnon and all that stuff? Like at this point, I mean, it's over with. I mean, Trump's walked away. I don't know if he's going to still plan to fight like we talked about before. I think while he was in office, he was still going to make a big deal of it. But once he's out,
There are reports
There's no
that said
point
that
of
he
anything?
wants to have a third party called the Patriot Party.
Yeah.
where'd
So we
that
would
come
have
from?
Republican, Democrat, and Patriot Party. I don't know. I don't remember where the
I mean, I
source
guess
was.
you
It was
just
from
run
somebody
it-
verified
Just
on
run as
Twitter.
an
I don't know
independent.
how.
I mean, it's really no different. You can
Right.
call it whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
but-
We have green parties and all this other shit.
That's why I say anybody that says third party pisses me off.
Yeah.
But,
It's just another party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Biden hit the books right off the rip, though. I mean, dude started knocking stuff out.
Executive orders.
I haven't even seen everything that he's done yet.
So he did. So
It's
he
like
rejoined the Paris climate thing. He
Yeah.
rejoined World Health Organization.
Mhm.
He stopped funding for the
Keystone.
pipeline from Keystone pipeline.
Okay.
He defunded the wall, but
Yeah.
apparently they're still going to pay all the contractors without having to perform any work because they had contracts with them. So
That's
like,
fucking stupid.
that's fucking dumb. So that I don't.
We
really
didn't even get any
like.
fucking wall built. They built like 190 feet of wall.
That I don't love. I get defunding it, but there's got to be a workaround. Like they're literally going to fulfill the contracts.
Like how much? How much does that cost? Because if you're gonna,
I don't know.
that's my thing. Is if you're gonna cost like a couple $1 million to pay those contractors versus the billions it would have cost to
Of
build a wall, then
course.
sure. But I get that you can't like back out of their contract.
Yeah.
But
It's probably going to come down to, and I don't know full detail, and I'm sure we can find it, but it'll probably come down to the labor cost or something that they were.
Yeah.
They're not going to pay him for material they aren't going to
Right.
buy or anything.
I thought.
but-
Wait, I thought Mexico was paying for it.
well,
They're going to reimburse us. We have to front the bill, and then they'll reimburse us over the course of the next 100 years or so.
Biden should just do what Trump did to his former contractors and just not pay them at all, and
Right.
then
Yeah.
sue them and try to get them put in jail.
Right. So Wall defunded mandating masks on federal property.
Yeah.
He signed a mask mandate on transportation, so planes, trains, automobiles,
Automobiles?
like buses. I was
Oh.
just going with the
Public service. Yeah.
public service.
I was just trying to be a dick.
asshole.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he signed a lot of stuff. I'm sure there's more to that, but those are the big ones I can remember right off the rip.
I wish that he could do something where it was just mask mandate, period.
Right.
And I get that there's like constitutional shit in that, but I
Other
don't
places
know.
have done it, I feel like other countries. They're not
Yeah.
free countries.
They're not-
like America.
they're not American patriot countries. We got our guns. We ain't doing that shit.
Red, white, and blue pancakes from Denny's.
That's right. You ever had a grand slam in Britain? Hell no, they eat baked beans for breakfast.
Jeez. Yeah, but I mean, he went right to work. I know that they always do their like first 100 days.
Yeah.
But this dude didn't mess around.
He
Like, I
probably
mean,
had that shit already written
planned
up, ready
out.
to go. Like, all right, bring them in.
Right.
And you missed the most important one.
What's that?
He took off the Diet Coke button that Trump had on his
Yeah.
desk.
What's the Diet Coke button again,
Bro.
Jesse?
Trump's fat fucking ass. I know it's Diet Coke, but come on.
It still got sodium.
He had a button on his desk. It's red button. So I looked it up because I was like, this isn't real. Apparently it started in 2017 where they had somebody go in for an interview. It was one of the major news places like, I don't know, New York Times or Huffington or something like that. But the guy went in to interview him and he sees this red button on his desk and he's like, oh, what is that? Is that the nuke button? Like he was just joking.
Jeez.
And Trump was like, oh, yeah, people are really scared when they see me with this button, but I assure you it's not the nuke button. But people do get scared when they see the button. Like that was the exact quote. And so he hits the fucking button. And like 5 minutes later, this butler comes in with a fucking silver platter and a cold like Diet Coke on the platter and gives it to him.
I'm not going to lie. That's pretty dope.
What would you have? What would your button
Mine would be
be?
Dr. Pepper.
Dr.
But I
Pepper?
mean,
But
I'm all about that.
they said he drank 12 a day.
That's crazy. I can't. 12 a day is a ton, bro. How do you not
It's
have
a
a heart
lot.
attack, man? That's a lot. I mean, I know it's diet, but still.
I want a Taco Bell button.
Oh, it's not just like a pop button. It can be whatever
Sure.
you want. Well, it ain't gonna be a Taco Bell button or a pop button, but we ain't gonna go there on this show.
I did not have sexual relations with that
You
woman.
get a
can't do that to
blowjob
his
button?
daughter,
Get a
dude.
blowjob button. Ding, ding, ding.
Bing, bing, bing. Rudy comes in.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm back, Donald. I'm scandalous.
Did either of you watch the farewell speeches from Melania or Trump?
No, fuck them.
So the only thing I saw from them was when they were leaving onto the jet to get on the helicopter or whatever.
Farewell.
Yeah. So as he was leaving, I swear I saw him slip in the grass because it looked like the grass was wet.
Some dog shit they left.
I swear to God, I saw him slip. So he's going, and then like he goes to lead Melania up, and you just kind of see like he tilts a little bit, like really strangely. But yeah, that was final images, him leaving. And I just kept thinking, seeing that chopper off in the distance, and I was like, somebody's gonna aim something at it, right?
What's up? Over under on how long she files for divorce papers?
Year.
12 months.
Year.
You're going a year?
Yep.
I think she wants the money. I don't know if he'd probably have her sign a prenup and shit. So I would say she's not going anywhere. She'll just wait for him to die.
Yeah.
Well, once he gets in trouble, that's going to be the key thing. So like if he loses, these legal battles that he's in, she's gone faster than you can say hamburger.
Did you guys see the
hamburguesa,
like all the arguments and shit that he had with the military about his send off?
No.
Like he ordered that he wanted a 21 gun salute and they wouldn't do it. And they ended up doing it.
Did they?
Yeah. So this is my question, because I'm not a military person. You have military families, so you might know, but I always thought that the 21 gun salute is for some fallen soldier, right?
Funerals.
So what the fuck is he doing that for?
Sometimes it's for like a presentation, like something like that. Probably like you weren't lost, but passed away, or didn't pass away, but
respect.
I don't know, but they did it.
They did it. They ended up doing it.
Wow.
And like
maybe it's for the death of the country.
Well, and he did like all these songs. Like he played "Funeral for a Friend." What else did he play? He played a bunch of songs that had like titles about like
"Don't Stop Believing,"
death and loss, and like
Trump
like
did?
"Don't Stop Believing" was one of them. Yeah, that was like his send off music.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's a fucking idiot. I did see Melania's speech afterwards, and it was so quick. Like you could just tell she was like, "I'm ready to get the fuck out of here."
Hers was like a 10-minute speech, and his was like a 20-minute speech.
Was it that long? Okay, so I only saw the one
posted.
clip because she was like, she just said like the one thing, like "God bless you, God bless this great country," and then she was gone.
Oh no! So she did. So they both posted like an official.
She had all Louis
video.
Vuittons and shit on, and
they posted a video. Hers was like 10 minutes long. Trump's was about 20 minutes long, and she went in
recorded.
depth about. She said it was it was an honor to serve in office, and the farewell thing, and then these are some of the things that I had the pleasure of working on in office. Whatever it was.
Fucking Christmas decorations. I had the honor of doing.
She so she did hers, and then Trump went on about he did his. I started watching them both. I didn't finish them.
Did you do a good job, or was he like
his was actually good?
I had to leave because they cheated me. Like, was that shit?
No, his was actually similar to the other one that he did minus the last 15 seconds you hated. It was like that where he was on track. He said he hopes for a peaceful transition, and he hopes the best for Joe Biden, and he wishes him well, and all this. It was decent.
They told him it wasn't going on any news networks or social media if he didn't say the right shit.
Right? Yeah. He needed that.
Fine.
And I can give you a couple examples of things that Trump has done. I cannot give you one example of anything that Melania did as her time as first lady.
No, she did that one like anti-bullying speech at the very beginning. I remember that, and there's been nothing since.
That is one thing about.
And I think that was like a speech. Like I don't know if there was like an act that went with that, like some type of fundraiser. Like Michelle did like the healthy meals thing.
Yeah.
For high school.
Oh, Michelle was hands on.
I don't remember her doing anything for that.
She never wanted to be, and she made it clear from the very beginning. She had no desire to be the first lady. She did not want to be in office.
She was a fucking stripper that ended up getting with a billionaire. Like she didn't want to be the first lady.
Yeah, she wasn't present. Whereas Michelle was doing tours, and she was going out and doing stuff within the community.
Yeah.
Like the Obamas played a very big role in the presidency, and these two clowns were just.
That would have been a perfect Southwest commercial way back in the day. Like she's just like stripping and gets the billionaire, and then you see her in like the mansion, and then he's like, "I'm running for president and I've won," and then you just see her go, "Want to get away?" Like,
jeez.
I have to live in the shitty White House.
Yeah. So at this point, I we'll see what happens. I'm curious what happens with all of the chaos and stuff that went along with it. I mean, inauguration went off pretty.
There were like 50,000
without any issues
in DC.
Yeah,
like, nothing was going down there.
Right. So then I'm at this point. I'm like, if you were like a hardcore Trumper, or even what was Trump? I always forget this. What's the party?
Republican.
Republican. If you're a Republican, do you really wish, like, if you're a hardcore Republican, do you hope that the president fails so you can retake office? Like, do you hope negative upon your country for the next 4 years, or do you wish the best?
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to
Of course
always wish
not.
the best for everybody. I mean, secretly you can, I guess.
Yeah, but like that part of my thing is like these people that were so against Biden and like so much for Trump. It's like, do you eventually just settle in and say, okay, I hope the best for him? Because if you wish the best, if you wish for him to fail, it's only failing you. I mean, the things are going to negatively impact you. You should want the best regardless.
Yeah.
So regardless if you like him or not, that's the thing with politics. It just drives me nuts.
I would, just because perception is everything. And so if you say that you wish for failure and all that, you're a child. You look like it, and there's no redeeming. You don't want the country to succeed because of who's in office.
Right.
And that says a lot more about you than it does anything else.
You should want the country to succeed regardless of who's there. Like that's what's most important, not who's.
So that's the thing is it's such a like popularity contest now. Like they all think like, I don't think that Trumpers are Republicans. I think that they've evolved into something else. They really are like a patriot party now, like a patriot, because they're not fucking patriots, fucking treasonous piece of shit, but whatever. But
10 minutes later, I got kicked off fucking Facebook.
Right. Show's going down. He's taking us with him.
Even like, I don't know, like I didn't want Biden. He was my last choice out of all the Democrats because he's too much of a moderate. I wanted Bernie, man. Burn this fucker down and rebuild it at brand new. I wanted the free healthcare and the college and all that other crap. And now we're going to get like, well, you can go to community college for free. Like, oh, you can do this, but it's not what I wanted. I still want him to do well. Like, I want the economy to do well. I want everything to bounce back. I want COVID to be gone. Like, I don't know. I wanted Trump to do well. Dude just didn't. And I knew he wasn't gonna.
And that's what I was going to say. 4 years ago, like I didn't vote for Trump, but like my goal was prove us all wrong and fucking shut us up, be the best president ever. And, let your actions do the talking.
Yep.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah. But you saw how that went for Dave Chappelle. He went out and said the exact same thing on Inauguration night and then did his special 2 years later. And they're like, what are you doing with your boys? Like, not my boy, man.
Yeah. Well, I remember a lot of celebrities that had voted for Trump when when he first got elected. A year later, they were nowhere to be found. Like Miley was another big one too. Cyrus, like she actually voted for him. Go back and you can watch tapes about that. Like she hosted the VMAs the year before election, and she goes Trump 2016 and all that. And I was like, oh really? And then like a year later, he's banning things about gay rights and all that. And I'm like, so Miley, what do you think?
Right. Well, Ice Cube screwed himself.
Oh yeah.
Big time. You're done.
Yeah. Because he came out in support of him, didn't he?
Big time, like recently.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how many
I think Lil Wayne did too.
How many corporations are kind of like distancing anybody that had any kind of.
Bro, New York cut Trump off altogether.
Yeah.
Governor of New York came out and said, we are cutting all ties with the Trump administration.
Is that de Blasio that did that? Yeah.
Partnerships, anything associated with his businesses.
Yeah.
Done. That's huge.
And for New York, that's his.
Florida's
his home
trying
base.
to do the same thing. Florida's trying to get Mar-a-Lago like kicked out or whatever.
How do you even do that though? I don't know if you can do that, but that's crazy.
So the New York one, they said basically per contract, they are saying that he has committed a crime and that voids the contract.
So they can just boot him.
So they
no more Trump Tower.
They can cease the lease agreement or whatever on there. And
this is going to be such a great Scorsese film someday.
Right, bro. Yeah. So I don't know. He's really fucked himself at that point. We'll see what he does to rekindle. I mean, the dude's a businessman. He's fucking come up more than once before. We see someone's going to sign him to a TV deal or a book deal. He's going to get something out of it.
He'll have Trump
There's
TV.
enough supporters that are going to back him.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of news networks or companies that are still be on his side.
That's the thing that
so.
I don't know. Like, I wasn't aware that like when they shut down Parler, how everything worked. Like that's run through Microsoft that houses all of those apps and everything. So there's not really a way to get it out now.
Right.
Is it the same with TV where he's going to have to start up his own network in order to get Trump TV on if he decides to go that route? And if it fails, that'd be dope.
I mean, I imagine like we've talked about, if a network says they don't want to,
they got a network for everything.
Because you got to think like
it would
Fox owns so many of those channels. Like
Right.
you've got Fox News, you've got Fox 8, you've got FX, you've got all of these things. Then Disney has ESPN and Disney and all these other things. So like I wonder in ABC, like I wonder who houses most of those channels and what company would even pick him up at this time.
Viacom's a lot of them. The thing is though, is so he could, even if he created his own channel, he would still have to try and pitch that to a network, an AT&T or Spectrum Hulu or something would still have to carry the show. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to watch it.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could download an app, but then again, you're running the same thing.
Right.
Is Apple going to allow him on the Apple TV store? Is he going to be able to get it on a smart TV? He potentially could be cut off, but there's someone out there that will support him.
Sure. Somebody's going to say this will make money. I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah. I mean,
but is it going to be like FXX or some shit like that? Like where you're never going to see it?
Fucks.
Ultimately, I mean, like it's going to come down to that. Like, are we going to get views off of it?
He's going to be on public access. Like
No.
I'll get him on my satellite.
Like 5 a.m.
between the magician and the person selling fucking irons.
I want to come on Made to Motivate.
Dude, could you imagine? That'd be funny as fuck.
We'd have to have you step out for the week.
No, I'm here for it. You want to make it on the internet? You're going to answer my fucking questions. And that's a great question. That's the greatest question I've ever heard. And they will answer the question.
After this.
Yeah. Well, we will see. We're into the next 4 years at this point. Do you think Biden makes it all 4 years?
Yeah.
I don't see him doing it. Dude's old as fuck, man.
Dude is only 2 years older than
he looks
Trump.
old.
He looks old, but that's
shit,
because he's a
though.
politician. Politicians look old. Those dudes are fucking doing work that is so stressful. Like if you look at any president except for Trump, before and after, like Obama looked super young, dark hair, comes out graying everywhere. Like he looks better now than he did at the end of his term, you know?
I mean, but you know what they say? Biden's been an officer for 40 years and done nothing. So
43.
Stand corrected.
I don't wish harm on anybody.
No, absolutely not.
Here's all I'll say. Because I know what's waiting in the wing, I hope Biden lasts all 4 years. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
you hated Kamala from the beginning.
I still don't like Kamala Harris.
I don't know. Like, I don't want anything negative to happen to him, but I mean, he is just old. It's very strenuous now that he's in, like, it's different being in politics and then being the president of the United States.
Sure.
It is a lot of stress on you. By no means do I hope
look
harm
at the
on
shit
him,
that
but
he has to fix now too. I mean, that's, you got to deal with a pandemic.
Yep.
You got to deal with the whole Iran nuclear thing.
I don't think
back into that or fixing it or fucking them up if they're not going to fix it. Like,
well, on this pandemic thing, you got to think all the talk he talked about how he'd get in there and fix it and clean it right up.
100 million
You better
vials in
fucking-
100 days and all that other stuff.
So let's see what you do.
And you know, we thought that Obama inherited such a desperate and bleak situation. I mean, this completely kills that. I mean, there's nobody that's inherited a situation like this.
Yeah, I mean, he right off the rip is starting stuff. I mean, he's showing that he's going to do some of the things he said, but I mean, it's a lot harder than just signing a couple of orders. He's got a long road ahead of him. It's going to be very strenuous.
And people are already on his back. Like I saw a tweet from somebody, I think he was at Fox News or something, but he was like, first day in office and he's already lost 50,000 jobs.
Oh, for the Keystone.
And people were like, we lost 900,000 last week, you fuck. Like, what do you mean? Like, he's been in office for 12 hours. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
That Keystone project was whack, though. I'm not disappointed that he got rid of that.
I'm not either. I think it's the right move.
It's going to, I mean, I'll be shocked if it doesn't affect oil pricing and gas prices and stuff like that, which have been extremely low for a long time, which is super nice. Remember when they were like it was like $4 a gallon for a long time there?
But that was like 10 years ago. I mean,
no, it was not that long
It
ago.
was, yeah, it was probably
yeah.
I think I was like 17 whenever we were paying $4 a gallon.
I don't know if it was that long ago. No.
Threes were like a few years ago. Like threes, we were like 3 years ago. We were in threes.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it was teetering within the end of Obama's administration and the very beginning of Trump's. It was bouncing back and forth between 350. You would hit 4, go back down, but it was high. We've been at 2.
Yeah, we're at like 2
for a couple years.
250 is probably the highest I've seen recently.
Yeah, and it's very
it's
rare.
like 217 right now.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see what happens with
Well,
that.
if Iran fucks around, we'll go over and take their oil.
Fuck
around, find out.
The thing for everybody though that doesn't support that Keystone, banning or closing, maybe it's like the wall though, to where like they still get paid, because they're contractors and they started that work, and maybe they get the rest of their, agreed payment.
I would imagine if there's contract and we have signed off and agreed to a term, that they probably get something. Now, granted, the people will be out of work.
Yeah.
What's going to happen there is the company, they're going to get paid out. Do they still pay their people? Probably not.
And
you're pocket that and walk away.
And you're a driller, man. You're going to have a job somewhere. You're not going to be unemployed for.
Right. You're making good money. Those dudes make a shitload of money.
It sets the tone that, where I hope that he goes with this is trying to push for more investment into substantial sustainable energy,
Sustainable.
energy, getting into more like gas, electric, hydropower, that sort of thing, and getting away from the oil stuff. And that was a big deal for us, that having that oil pipeline.
And California started that. I believe it was California. They said that we're going to have entirely electric vehicles in this state by, I think it was like 2030 or something like that. I mean, but you got to think though, you got to transition millions of vehicles over to electric. That's a big thing. I mean, that's not really that long either. If you can get other people to follow suit.
Yep.
I mean, you got to fight the oil companies for that, but
that's the big part. Because you got to, I mean, it's just money out of their pocket. That's why this has gone on as long as it has. It's going to take someone willing to step up and fucking just shut it down and say, look, we're going to pass mandates and stuff that require you to change.
The problem though is you need to find somebody that's not going to come in and be like, okay, that's fine, but we're going to jack the electric prices now. Like if I'm paying 10 times as much for electric, like my electric bill to run our entire house every month is like $70 or something.
Yeah.
Like if that turns into $350 because I'm powering everything from electric, or $400 or $500, it doesn't matter what we're doing. It's just cleaner for the world, but it shouldn't be jacked up. Like they need somebody who comes out and makes a product like a Tesla, who will say, all right, we're going to give you these solar panels. It's going to cost you 10 grand to put on your roof. That's going to charge your entire house. Like you need somebody that's willing to innovate and change the world and then base it off of that. Like,
problem is money's just the prime motivator, you know, in any corporation. That's you know how it's been.
Yeah, I mean, because you're gonna have a supply and demand there. The Tesla stuff though is not that expensive. My brother has one.
Yeah.
And it's cheap compared to like gas. Like what it costs them to fill up at like those super stations or
that's what I'm saying though, is if you get rid of gas though,
of course. Now
are they going to
it's
because
required.
they can determine the price of electric at any time.
Yep. Yeah, and I wonder what comes of that, you know, because you're going to have stations. So does that mean you're going to have like a Marathon electric station or a Sunoco electric station rather than gas? And we're still fighting and battling for that. You know, what comes of that?
I don't know.
We need the energy change. I mean, the gas, we got to cut that off. It's been a long time coming. We have the technology. It's available. It's obvious. There's electric cars out there. Like we can make it work. We just have to
we have self-driving cars now, man. I don't want to touch a steering wheel again. I want to sit in the back of my car. No? Oh, I'm down.
You'd be uneasy in terms of handing the reins over to a machine or whatever.
I am down. Let me just sit in the back, relax, play a game, do some work. Imagine the productivity that you could have just driving to work. Oh, fuck, I forgot to do that thing for work. On the way onto the work, man. No big deal. I don't know why I'm typing in Norse code to work.
All fine and dandy until that fuse blows on the fucking self-driving and you're fucking self-driving right off a fucking bridge.
They're going to have safety measures in it.
I'm all for technology. I hate driving. I would love somebody to drive me around, but you ain't sitting me in a car, dude, putting me out on the road and saying
that is no different than if you're on the highway and you go to lock up your brakes and your brake line blows.
Well,
that could fail just as easily as a microchip.
Don't be pumping them brakes, bro.
I'm just saying.
I just don't trust it. I can't do it. I don't like when other people drive. Nonetheless,
I don't like when other people drive either.
There's just no way.
I hate driving, but I also hate riding with people.
It's the worst. All right. I think that's all for the world at this point. I don't think we have anything too exciting going on. I think we're finally going to get out of this slump, though. Like we're not going to have to be talking about the same thing every week. Like
no more talking COVID and Trump every single
doesn't have to
week.
be our thing anymore. We can talk about hopefully more productivity and positive things coming from Biden, and
it's kind of our thing. We know.
We'll see what else we can do.
Shut the fuck up.
Boy, I wonder what this podcast is about. It's about the same fucking thing every week.
Jeez.
Thank God for sports.
Wow. All right. Well, let's
sports and movies is the only thing that ever changes.
Let's talk about Hollywood
They cut
Report.
the movies.
Asshole.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down! Two team assemble!
Christopher, the billiards champion, Kessinger. What is hip hop happening happening over at Hollywood Report?
Well, we got a couple of stories this week. First of all, I want to go straight to the world of streaming, I guess you could say. HBO Plus, with their commercial this week, revealing some new properties coming out.
Ooh.
We got Space Jam 2 with LeBron James.
LeBron James.
We saw a couple of images there. We had Bugs in frame with LeBron himself. The jerseys look pretty tight. I enjoy that. It was kind of like a dark blue. Very unorthodox from the Michael era.
Yeah.
So you can tell they're trying to make this as different and diverse as they can, despite the fact that it's the same realm.
Do you think MJ makes a cameo in that?
No.
You think so?
I don't think so.
I don't think he does.
They should do a trilogy though, and in the last one play against each other.
That would be badass.
That'd be dope.
It would never happen, but I want it.
Yeah, there'd be so much money involved in that too, man. But yeah, that looks pretty tight. But to me, the more important property, Godzilla vs. Kong. And we're getting a trailer this Sunday.
Are we?
During the AFC Championship.
Like a teaser or a trailer?
I don't know.
Oh man, if it's just a teaser and I see like their legs, I'm gonna be pissed.
We saw a screenshot, of them. It looked like the New York skyline, and they were across from one another. And you could see, Kong is gigantic. They had to make him bigger, obviously, if he's going up against
Godzilla. Who's doing it?
Well, they said he was a baby in the Skull Island.
Yeah.
And that was fucking huge. So
Universal.
Yeah, Skull Island's dope. I didn't really see much about this. You guys are pumped for it?
Dude, I can't wait.
It looked like visually, obviously most everything in a Kong movie is computer generated, as it has to be. It looks good. They're definitely utilizing the nighttime effects, so we can hide the weaknesses and accentuate the positives. It looks good. I saw the 1963 version of Godzilla vs. Kong. It's solid. It doesn't hold up today, but
Who wins?
It was nobody wins. And nobody's going to win in this either. Nobody ever wins in a versus film. Nobody ever wins. So, but
Jason kind of won.
Did he though?
He kind of won.
In my opinion, sure. But Freddy is still alive at the end, and he winks, and obviously he's tricking him. Yeah, but the trailer comes out Sunday during the AFC Championship game, so that looks pretty tight. HBO Plus has a ton of releases coming up over the next month, like in February particularly.
Yeah, bro.
The movie, one of my most anticipated films of the year, Judas and the Black Messiah, is coming out on February 12th. What a Valentine's Day weekend offering that is. But yeah, it's based on Fred Hampton, the one of the leaders of the Black Panther Party.
Okay.
Looks solid. One of the best trailers that I got during Tenet. Yeah, looks like we're finally going to get back to some normalcy. The only thing is, if you like theaters, it's going to take away from them too.
Did you say the release date for Kong versus Godzilla?
It's March. They don't know yet though.
Okay. March 28th. Make it a birthday movie.
Yeah, could be. So they might make that push for spring, like closer to spring.
Yeah, I gotta watch that trailer. I haven't seen anything about that yet.
On to some other news. Shia LaBeouf. Fans, yes.
I'm a big
Shia LaBeouf.
I love
Shia
Shia,
LaBeouf
man.
fan.
Big fan.
Shia's in trouble right now. Again, this time though with an ex-girlfriend, FK Twigs, I believe is her name. She is a pop star.
FK
Her
Twigs?
name is FK Twigs.
FK Twigs.
Like an initial.
That's how they say it. Like I even looked up the
Fuck Twigs.
pronunciation. FK Twigs. Yep, that's her name. So anyway, they were in a relationship, and she is suing LaBeouf for all kinds of abuse. Physical, mental, torture, and the kicker, venereal disease, planting inside
Planting?
her. Like he knew, she knew. That was the
she knew that
legal
it wasn't
term.
planting.
Yeah. So
That's just
What the fuck?
That's just risky business.
but
Bro.
an essential basically rape, that he raped her into that.
Oh.
So yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Shia. He's not all there. That dude's been off the rocker for a while, but
Is she though? Her name is FK Twigs.
that's what I'm saying. Like, is this going to turn into a fucking Johnny Depp, Amber Heard type thing where they were both fucked up? And
So the question is now this expands. Like, this is a modern day Othello. I've read everything on this case. Like, now other ex-girlfriends are coming out, and they're coming out of the woodwork and saying that Shia LaBeouf was abusive to them, not to this level, but that he was, physically, beat and harmed them. We've got co-stars that are coming out that are saying like, he was always uneasy on set, and all this is, fitting this perfect narrative. And
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's strange because like, obviously Shia LaBeouf is not mentally all there, and you could certainly see something like this happening, but we've talked about this before where this kind of thing happens, and it's like, well, everybody comes out at a particular time and all that. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but I always find it interesting the timings, you know. And I get people like, okay, they felt courageous now because someone else came out and they're not alone and they can come out and talk about it. And if it's true and truthful and he really was abusive and stuff, okay, I support that. But in this industry, it's so hard to know if there's not an ulterior motive for money or for publicity, get your name out there. I don't know. He's obviously not all there. The dude is. I mean, look at the fucking
I feel like he's gotten better though.
Ridgemont High cameo he did. I mean, that dude was all over the place.
And he said he will volunteer for mediation just to dispel all of this.
Yeah.
Like he's going against it. He says it's not true. You know, all this, he's fighting it.
I hope it's not true. I am a big fan of his. And when I would hate for us to run into a Johnny Depp situation.
Yeah, I was just about to say another Amber Heard.
Where he's shadow banned or whatever, and he's not going to be able to be in movies or anything anymore, because I really enjoy him as a character and just I don't know. I'm a fan. So.
And it's strange timing because that Pieces of a Woman just hit Netflix, which stars Shia LaBeouf, and you know, co-stars, they kind of came to his defense. Angie Dickinson, who's in it, also Vanessa Kirby, who's his on-screen romantic interest. They said, you know, he never seemed out of place to us. You know, he was always showed up for work, always a hard worker and all that, dedicated to his role.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be one of those to where how much this Twigs woman, as far as proof, you know, that she has, I've yet to find anything that says, you know, she's bringing proof to the table, pictures, videos, anything of that matter.
Right.
If you don't got that, you don't have a case.
Right.
Hate to say it.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't know anything about their relationship. I didn't even know she existed, so I can't really say one way or the other. But if she doesn't have any proof, then, I mean, what are you gonna? If somebody's been beating the shit out of me and raping me and torturing me, like, and I planned on saying something about it, I'm gonna have something. I'm gonna have pictures of at least my own bruises, or
you prepare for that kind of thing. Yeah,
I'll have a rape kit done. Like, I don't know. You're gonna have something. You're gonna have conversations with like one of your girlfriends where, you know, you were scared for your life, or you told one of them, and you can at least say, well, I told them 2 years ago, or something. Like, if you don't have anything, I'm gonna side with Shia, because I mean, he's had stories of his comeback, like ever since like Peanut Butter Falcon and whatever that one movie was where he's all tatted up and everything. Like, people have said that he's like doing really well. Dude, I got a Charlie horse on my leg. It's killing me.
But yeah, it's one of those. I think also, you know, public identity plays into it, because like we said, Shia LaBeouf is a bit of a loose cannon. You know, he's always been known to fight the media and, you know, paparazzi and everything. He's always taking swings at them.
Running for your life, Shia LaBeouf.
So to me, I'm like, someone could look at Shia LaBeouf and go, well, he's an easy target. You know, you could play this off that he's mentally unstable, and it's so obvious in the public eye. I'm not taking sides one way or the other. If he's guilty, I say fucking fry his ass, do whatever you need to do.
Right.
But
well, I do think that he is mentally unstable, but that doesn't always necessarily mean that you're violent either.
No.
I think Kyrie Irving is mentally unstable, but he's not beating the shit out of people either, as far as we know.
Right. How do we know how long they were together?
Yes, it was. I think they said 16 months was in the article, so like almost a year and a half.
It was a shorter period. I'm like, if you were in a relationship for 5-6 years, and I know, again, I'm not in that situation. Maybe they were afraid to leave or whatever. They felt fear for their life, but you don't stick around if something like that's really happening. Look, I hope for her sake that she's. I mean, I hope she's not telling the truth, because I don't want that to come out on him. But I hope if it really did happen, she's got someone to back it. She can get the help she needs and everything for it, because you come out and say something like that and don't have anything. I mean, that's detrimental to your character. To just, I mean, you look like a fucking idiot too.
Look how it's playing out for Amber Heard right now. You know, it's like
she's done.
You better have something. You know.
Is she cut off and everything like Johnny Depp is?
She hasn't been in anything.
Yeah,
they kicked her out of
she's in the Stand,
Aquaman
currently.
And all that other stuff too. And I don't know if she was anything else.
She's currently in the Stand, which is a show I watch every week. Stephen King's The Stand.
Oh, and it's ongoing.
Yeah, and she's playing Nadine Cross, which is like a mental unstable case. So I'm like, wow, this is me and my buddy Matt, who was on the show.
Yeah,
we always talk about, man, that is the most perfect casting ever.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Final thing, guys. Anybody catch WandaVision this week?
Hell yeah. Did you watch it? Bro, what are you doing?
First 2 episodes dropped.
I saw a ton of people saying it was fucking shit, like sucked. Like, real bad.
Now, here's the thing. I can understand that from their perspective. I don't agree with that, but I can understand from their perspective. It's so cryptic and you don't really know what's going on. People like answers right away. And if they're not getting that, they're going to be turned off by it.
It's not like
Is it just one episode out?
Two has
Two.
been out. The third one drops tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it on?
It's on Disney Plus.
Okay, I'll check it out.
But people just don't like it because it's done perfectly.
Yeah.
Like the first episode is modeled after the Dick Van Dyke Show,
Mhm.
and then the second one is modeled after Bewitched.
50s and 60s.
Right.
Okay, hold on a second. Just before you explain too far, because I don't know the background to WandaVision. This sounds really awful.
There's not
That's
one.
the thing.
It's a completely new thing.
This is
brand
why I said
new.
cryptic, because like a lot of people going into it, they're expecting a structure, a plot, that you normally get with shows.
Yeah.
So like Daredevil, for instance, it starts off with him atop a rooftop and he's looking
Right.
at some bad guys, and you automatically know who he is, what he's fighting, everything.
But Daredevil was a character we knew. Is WandaVision an established character?
Well,
I'm not
she's-
familiar with the
She's
WandaVision.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
She's
Oh.
Wanda from Avengers.
Okay.
And Vision.
And
from
Vision,
Avengers.
the dude with the fucking,
Okay, so that's okay.
They
So
fell in
I was
love.
not putting the two and two together.
this whole thing,
Okay.
it just starts off, they're in like a little cozy neighborhood. It's your typical
Okay.
white picket fence family, but they are who they are. And then there's just little weird things that are off, but it's just like a sitcom.
Black and white.
So like the first one is like
Okay.
all about like he has his boss over for dinner, and it's like she's trying to hide her magic in like a whole bunch of shenanigans, but it's done like a 50s sitcom.
Okay.
And then the second one is like a same type of
60s.
same type of premise though. It's like
I can't remember the show. There's
They
moments of
do,
Twilight Zone.
well
I
there is,
love
yeah.
Twilight Zone.
And they do like a talent show, and it's the same type of thing though. They're trying to hide their magic from this town and seem normal, but there's little things that are off throughout it. Like there's just like creepy things. Like there was one point where one of the characters is just sitting there and she's just like, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. And it just keeps going. It's just super
Awkward.
unsettling.
Yeah.
Static that comes in and says, "What are you doing, Wanda?
Right.
Who's making you do this?"
And so there's like little things like that that are kind of Twilight Zone-y,
Okay.
and you don't know what's going on. You don't know if she's under a trance. Like there's all these different theories going
I
around
got
about
mine.
what is happening. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too.
Yeah.
But like, you have no idea at this point. So if you don't like old sitcoms and you can't appreciate for
Yeah.
what they're doing and matching it, because they do it perfectly. You could play this in the 50s and people would have been like, oh, this is a knee slapper or whatever the fuck they said.
Right.
And it's just like a perfect homage to those. And then at the same time, if you know who these characters are, you're going, okay, what the fuck? And you're trying to figure it out, because you'll see something modern come in every once in a while and you're like, oh, okay, there's a clue. Like you're trying to decipher it.
Yeah.
But if you don't really care that much about these shows and characters, you're gonna be like, this is fucking boring.
I was gonna say that's not what a typical Marvel fan's probably to expect.
it's nothing
yeah.
like what you've seen
So-
before.
But I like that though, because it's
Yeah.
different. It's diverse. Like that. The problem with superhero movies in general anymore is that they all feel the
same.
same. They run together. We need that kind of diverse, whether it's in visual spectacle or thematics. Like there needs to be something different to it.
And comics have that. Like, I'm not a huge comic book person.
Me
Like, I
either.
don't read a bunch, but like, there are weird stories like that where it's just like they're a family and you see the shenanigans that happen. It's not always action and explosions and saving the universe. Like, this seems like it's a down to earth, small, simple story that they're like, okay, how can we make this cool? Let's think about artistically what we can do. I have an idea. Let's go through each decade of
Yeah.
sitcoms and make it so that each episode is just like that.
Yeah.
Because the trailer has shown like they're going to go into the 60s and 70s and like do other stuff like that. And I love it.
And with 9 episodes, I've already figured it out. With 9 episodes, that would take us right to 2020's doorstep.
Fuck yeah.
So like now you're back in contemporary times. Could it run into that, Avengers, post-Avengers, Infinity War timeline? That because that's the biggest I think hurdle that typical fans are facing right now, not liking the show. It's basically that. So we've come off Infinity War and Endgame. We saw where the characters went from there. What happened in that year and a half between then and now that has made this the current situation for Wanda and for Vision? And to me, like I said, so my theory, and there's light spoilers here if you haven't seen that. To me, I'm not going to spoil much for you, but for
I'm kidding, it's all
just
good.
in a show perspective. So there's this group, they're called Artificial Intelligent Mechanics, or AIM, as they're known in the comics. And their whole thing is basically kind of like who is that villain in Spider-Man 2? Jake Gyllenhaal. Mysterio, yeah. So basically their whole thing is to remove reality or, put you in a fantastical environment that's, out of your realm, but you still believe that it's real life.
Yeah.
You were born here, you live here, all that. and AIM is partnered with the new villain in the comics who they said is going to be the new Thanos. I can't remember his name. Jonathan Banks is the actor.
Yeah, it's
The name sounds familiar.
I know who you're talking about. He's like purple.
Yeah. He's got a big helmet and all that. So he's supposed to be like the next Thanos, basically.
I've heard
and
that.
that's his group is AIM. So like they're kind of his henchmen, and like they kind of. So I think if they start here, this is the first property, you know, that we've gotten in a while from Marvel. They start here and they start putting this in each and every single show and movie and all that. Man, what a build for this villain that would be.
That's a cool idea. I don't have any of my own thoughts on it because I'm not very like well versed with these characters, so I don't know a lot myself. I'm just watching what other hypotheses are online. But Steph had an idea because she doesn't like anything that's unhappy. She wants everything to be like shit and rainbows and have a happy ending.
Promising
She doesn't
Young
like
Woman.
it. Yeah, she hated the end of that movie. She was so upset.
I don't understand that.
So she was the very first thing she said to me was, this better end a happy, because if this is some shit where she's making it all up in her head because she's trying to get over the grief of Vision being dead, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck, that'd be dope. Like, because you never see Vision come back. Even in Endgame, when they have the massive battle and everybody gets snapped back, he doesn't come back because he died prior to that.
Yep.
He didn't get snapped away. So he's dead. And we never saw him come back. So she thinks, and I mean, for my sake, I hope that's not what it is, because she's just going to like flip out on me for making her watch it and then be devastated. But that would be dope as hell, though, if you find out at the end he's dead this whole time, and this is just some type of like PTSD coma that she's put herself in magically.
She needs to believe he's still alive.
And she's creating her own reality that he exists in.
That'd be different for Marvel for sure.
Dark as fuck, though. I don't know if they would be able to pull something like that off.
I mean, it's a TV show though, like, so it's not different. It's not, you know, you're not getting as many audience members as a mainstream movie. So I think they could take those risks.
I mean, maybe they're trying to incorporate this stuff though into the movies. Like, this is part one of their next phase. They said, along with Loki and all these TV shows, like they want it to be that you have to watch the shows now
to get the movies,
because there's no more of that. Well, we have Daredevil, but it's not part of it. Daredevil's going to be in Spider-Man 3. Like, they're putting all those characters in there. This is one universe again. So they want everybody involved. I think that they want to just create a massive TV network to go along with their movie empire now.
So you enjoyed the first 2 episodes then?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, me too. I thought stylistically it's one of the best things that Marvel's ever done. As far as thematically goes, I love that kind of clouded in mystery approach. HBO's The Watchmen did that 2 years ago. It was the best TV show that I had seen in a decade. I own it on DVD. I recommend it highly. But the thing with Watchmen is you come off the movie and, you know, it's supposed to take place in the same realm just 20 years later. So you look at all these characters and you see everybody who's familiar to you and you go, okay, I see where they're at now. How did they get here?
Right.
And that's kind of the same approach that we're going with these guys. Like, I know these two. What happened in that year and a half? How did we get from Thanos and saving the Earth to this, you know?
Yeah. There's one other theory that I really like, and that is they have a neighbor named Agnes, who is played by
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of hers usually.
Who's that? What's she from? What other things is she from?
Catherine Hahn, Bad Moms. Yeah, Step Brothers. Yeah.
Is she the mom?
She's Derek's wife. You can put you in my vagina in a ball.
From The Office?
Yeah. No.
She's
not in The Office. I don't know. You know The Office better than me. Maybe she had a cameo.
Isn't she played Dwight's?
No.
It's not the same person as Dwight's girlfriend or whatever in that, right? They look similar though.
No,
you know what I'm talking about?
They don't look similar.
So I'm thinking of the wrong person then.
Yeah, you're thinking of the wrong person.
I gotta look it up.
Bad Moms, Catherine Hahn's. She was. There's Mila Kunis.
You'll know her
there's
soon as you
Kristen
see
Bell,
her.
and there's her.
But no. So her name is Agnes, and there is a similar comic. There's 3 comics that people think that they're taking this from at this point, and in one of them, there is basically the devil of Marvel, who is Mephisto, captures Scarlet Witch and puts her basically in a trance. And if she uses her powers, he can absorb her dark magic or something and make himself more powerful. I don't know the whole comic jargon, but in that, there's a witch named Agatha Harkness. Agnes Harkness. So they think that she is the witch, and that's why she's always super involved, but she's kind of like off a little bit. She always seems to be there. And they think that it might be that storyline where she's the witch, and then eventually they will introduce the devil of
keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they think it's all a ploy for her to get her to use her magic in that or to kidnap her. Like there was something about kidnapping her kids or something in the comics also, which I won't get into, whatever, but
yeah. I like obviously the moments of like, breaking reality during it, when you get these glimpses or the static that kicks on, that obviously some sinister force, like we saw a watch in one and you could see the Hydra symbol on it, but you could also see AIM on the other side of it. So that's where my theory comes in.
See that.
Yeah. So like I watched those scenes and I would pause it like right there on my big screen. And I would just kind of study what I could see. There was that. And there was another one in the first episode, and I can't remember what it said. To me, like, all of this reminds me of, and this is going to be off topic, wrestling promos. So when a wrestler's coming back, we'll use Chris Jericho, for instance.
Yeah.
They would always show like a code, and there would be like, all these scrambling like letters
matrix
and all that. And it would say, can you crack the code? And every week they would give you a clue here and there. I think all these things like, Wanda, what are you doing? Who's making you do this? All this is just a series of codes that is going to come together at the end. And you're going to be like, I should have gotten that. It makes sense now. It all rolls together.
Well, like those studio directors put so many Easter eggs into these things. Like I have seen 3 separate Easter egg videos at this point, each one with completely brand new content. And it's down to like license plates, dates. Like on the first one, they have a heart on this date and it's June 23rd. And they go, that could be an homage to comic book 0523, which is the episode where Agana Harkness comes in, and it's just like, who the fuck thinks of all of this shit?
I'm not a comic genius.
And like, and they just break it all down. Like, there's no way I could do that. And then they're talking about how, I guess in the Hydra watch, and then there was another clock and something else where the 6s are missing. And they go, there's 3 instances where 6s are missing. What has 3 6s? The devil, Mephisto.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, what the fuck, man? You guys are cracking codes.
What's genius about that approach, though, is that inevitably people are going to talk about it no matter what. And now in the era of social media, that's just going to push the interest more for it. So with all these people talking about like, well, we have these theories, here's what we think, and that, it forces people to watch the show and to tune in who otherwise wouldn't.
Yeah, I got to watch it now because now I'm fucking... now it sounds good.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Like you just have to go into it with the thought of, I'm not going to know what's going on. There's definitely more to it. And this boredom is like meant for her to be either hiding away or in a trance. Like they don't want her to realize who she is. So it's supposed to seem like that.
Here's my thing. And I agree with you in terms of like saying like this temporary boredom and all that. Like I get why the conventional fan would, label it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the writing's brilliant because a lot of the jokes and everything fit the characters and their abilities and their, their gifts. And I think there's genius ways of introducing that to a comedy, and a 50s and 60s comedy at that. I like how, they kind of elevated once they went to the second episode for the 60s. It kind of got a little more racy in terms of like sexuality and stuff like that. That was the dawn of, for TV, like you started seeing characters sleeping together on shows and stuff like that. And they kind of exploited that. And it's genius. I think it's brilliantly done. I haven't been this excited for a Marvel property probably since Black Panther.
Yeah, I thought the jokes and stuff were good too. Like, especially like the time specific stuff, like you were talking about, like when he goes to the all men's club and they're all just like gossiping, like, I heard that he got his bowling pins or his bowling trophies from a place over in this city, and like blah, blah, blah. And then they cut to him and he like doesn't know what to do because he's a robot. So he's just like, I heard Hank here's a communist. And like, I don't know. I like shit like that.
I gotta watch it.
Definitely check it out.
I did not connect what it was.
The characters.
I didn't. Yeah, and I love Vision. I like his character a lot.
Me too.
I didn't realize
he's a gem.
I didn't take the time to look into what it was. I remember hearing about it when they first announced it, whenever that was. But people were just posting about it. I'm like, whatever. People were saying it sucked. I didn't look up what is WandaVision. I was like, okay, it sucks, whatever. So I ain't gonna waste my time. But I'll definitely go back and watch it now because that sounds dope.
I like the crypticism of it because sometimes when watching those shows, so like I love Daredevil, but the thing is, sometimes you feel the weight of that those 10 episodes. You know all the answers after one episode. You know where the story's going. You know how it's going to end. Everything.
Yeah.
With this, you don't know anything. Everything is a theory at this point. And there's no concrete answers.
What happened with all those shows? They're all just done.
Well, they're done, because Netflix doesn't own those rights anymore. Like
they fucked them up too. I mean, a lot of them were not good. Daredevil was really good.
I liked Daredevil.
Daredevil remained consistent.
Good.
Punisher season 2 was okay.
Right. But then like
First season was great.
Luke Cage was awful. Once
Yeah.
you got to the halfway point of
Yeah.
season 1, it was terrible.
I never watched Iron Fist.
Iron Fist was trash.
Never watched it.
I don't remember Jessica Jones season 2, and I think I might have not even watched it because I liked the first season,
season's
but
really
everything
good.
else sucked so bad after that. I was like, fuck this.
Once you took out Purple Man, forget it, dude. It was
Daredevil was the best one of all of them.
Agreed.
For sure. They just fell.
Wilson
off
Fisk
the
is like
face of
the one of the best villains in all of Marvel, I think.
so too.
Yeah.
And if you're going to bring them back in this realm, you need to keep the casting the same.
Yeah. I think they're going to take a lot more risks though with these shows, more so than Marvel. Like Marvel had like stories that you couldn't do in a movie with Daredevil and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but now you're getting stuff where you can be creative. Like they're saying that they're thinking Loki is going to be all about him just like messing. So like all of the major mysteries of our timeline that we don't know about are going to be done, because you can see that he's DB Cooper in the one trailer. Like he's definitely DB Cooper. And they were like, well, I bet he goes through time and just does all of this stuff himself. Like JFK assassination could be a thing. Like the Challenger explosion could be a thing. Like any major mystery that we don't know about in American history is going to end up being Loki fucking with it. And like, I love that idea. And the trailer looked dark as hell too. So I don't know how they're going to go about doing all of that, but it just looks awesome.
I still wonder how he's back, because I didn't think they brought him back in Endgame. I don't remember seeing him in Endgame.
Well, remember in Endgame, they went back in time and then the Tesseract got kicked to him in the alternate timeline and he disappeared. So I think it's that one. It's not the one that was killed by Thanos.
Oh, jeez, man.
But yeah, so, and that causes a whole bunch of problems because they were like, you can't break off any alternate timelines. You have to put everything back. Well,
Butterfly effects
they
now.
fucked all that up now. So
Yep. That's it for Hollywood, though. I just definitely watch WandaVision. It's recommended.
I will check that out. I watched the Lego Wars show. Have you guys watched that?
The Wars show?
Lego Wars. Lego
What's
Builders,
that on?
Lego King, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Hulu.
Okay.
I think it's a couple years old at this point. I watched the first season. It's the
they just build crazy shit.
Yeah,
right?
it's just the Lego building reality TV show. But it's
cool.
dope, man.
Okay.
So they like have different challenges and then they just have a shit ton of it's Will something.
Will Ferrell?
No, what the fuck's the guy's name? He plays the Lego Batman, the voice of the Lego Batman.
Will from Arrested Development.
Job.
Yeah.
I don't care for Job.
Steve Holt's a bastard.
He's the host of it. It's cool though. I mean, I'm a huge Lego fan.
Yeah.
I was scrolling just looking for something to watch and I turned it on and I got sucked into it.
I saw the trailer for that a couple of years ago, and like the only thing I can think of is how long are those episodes? An hour? 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think they range anywhere. They're like 25 minutes. They're like shorter episodes.
You'd have to.
That 25-minute show, them building that shit, even if you're a Lego expert, that shit takes probably like 15 fucking hours for them to make.
So the challenges so they have different challenges each week, different theme or whatever they got to do. They ranged anywhere from like a mini thing as like a starter for the contest. It was like a 4-hour build.
Yeah.
To the final build was 24 hours.
Yeah, that's insane.
So they obviously did it over a couple of days. Like
right.
it was like a week in between each show.
So they're getting like 4 hours every day to get their 24
they
hours.
Go home and chill there. But yeah, the final build, they had 24 hours to complete it. And they would do a build. The contest would be, okay, you've got 12 hours, build this. And then there'd be like 4 hours left. And they're like,
for example, what?
Now you got to do this. And they'd be like, you're going to get an extra 10 hours. So then that turned into a 28-hour build or whatever, you know?
So like, what kind of thing are they telling them to build?
So one was dope. They had to build a bridge out of Legos over a 6-foot span. So they provided them with 2 pillars that I would say were 4 feet tall. And there was a 6-foot gap. And they had to build a bridge, and the street level had to be level with the top of the pillars. And then they could do whatever they want. There's no rules. And then they would put weights on them.
See which one held the most.
How much do you think one of these Lego bridges held?
Oh, well, I bet it's incredible amount. I would say
1,000.
I wouldn't go that high. I'd say 450 pounds.
So the least one was 50 pounds. The 2 that won were 1,000 each, and they cut it off. The show said they didn't have enough weights. They said they had no idea they were going to hold this much weight.
Wow.
They only had 500 pounds. They had to borrow the sandbags from the video crew that they used to weigh their stuff down to start putting on there, because they got to 1,000 pounds and they said, for safety, we can't put any more weight on these.
Dude,
that's insane.
I can't even imagine how many individual pieces.
Dude, it was crazy. I mean, it's literally just a room and they've got them all by color and size, and there's this giant room with buckets. They just go and take whatever they want out of there.
And I bet it all looks amazing too. Like they're not even using mismatched pieces or anything.
No, the couple that won it is a husband and wife. The things that these people built was like insane. Like how intense and in-depth they were. There were some people on there that fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Like they were probably better than the average person, but like you watch what they built compared to other people, and I'm like, this is not that great.
Yeah.
But they had to implement like moving things into it. So the one guy's built like a giant skyscraper, and they had an elevator that actually worked that would take their pieces up. The first challenge was an amusement park.
Oh man,
this was dope though. So they each had a square, you know, like the green base mats that you can, like Lego has, it's just a big green square. And that's like your platform and you build up from there.
Yeah.
So they each had one of those. I'd say is probably like a 4 foot by 4 foot square, and they had a track piece that went through the middle of it, and those all interlocked when they put them together, and it was a tram that, so when they all slid them together, the tram connected all theirs and it went through the whole park. And they each had a 4 by 4 square that they built their own.
Jesus,
like, you know, when you go to an amusement
Yeah.
like a land, they built their own land, but then they all interconnected. It was so fucking dope.
I'm gonna
bro.
watch this now
It is good.
because I thought it looked whack on the commercial. That
Dude.
sounds dope.
It's super dope. They had to build like, so one of the ones where it was like they changed it up midway, they had to build a city block. So like the amusement park, there was 8 squares and 4 of them were already built by the Lego people, and then they had their own and they had to put it together. So they all built their city block and wheeled it in, and they're like, oh, by the way, change of things. Now you have to build the city being like under attack.
man, fuck you.
So
That's
then they
dope.
got to like make a natural disaster or like fucking UFOs attacking it. It's, dude, it was legit.
I am 2 Legos from done, man.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Bro, it's super dope. I watched the whole, I don't know if there's more than one season, but I watched all the first season and I was like, this
Yeah.
is super legit.
Probably goes by pretty quick too.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to think that they're literally like 25-minute, 30-minute episodes. It's not super long because it's just small challenges. But if you're into Lego at all, or even if you're not, it was definitely cool. And they had like 2, so like Will Arnett's the main judge or the host, but then they have 2 like master Lego builder employees or whatever that was judge it all.
That was what I was going to ask next.
Yeah, it's super legit. And then they had a Star Wars one where they had to build something Star Wars. Fucking C3PO and R2D2 and all them were there.
Damn.
It's super dope, man. I was geeking out. I'm like, I want to fucking be on this show.
C3PO's there.
Dude,
It's R2D2.
it's super dope.
You're like, what's the kid from Room?
Oh, Jacob Tremblay.
Yeah, when he was at the Oscars for the first time, he's like 5, and R2D2 came out. And he's like,
Bro, whenever I go to Star Wars, when I go to fucking Disney and go to the Star Wars land or whatever, and they're fucking like Kylo Ren, even though it's not him, but it looks just like him.
well,
And they're walking around, I'm like, taking all these pictures, like, call me.
you'd think Disney would be able to get like real lightsabers made.
Bro, I
Like
know.
you have all that money.
I know.
Make that shit. Like it doesn't have to cut people, but make it so it looks real.
Yeah, I'm sure they
They
could.
look dope.
But the thing is, once
But
you
they don't look real. Like
Yeah.
but once you make them, someone's going to want to buy them.
I'll buy 'em.
Inevitably. Like,
I'll buy them.
yeah, but that's the thing though. So like, you have to make them, and then once they realize they're not actual real lightsabers to where they don't do the work of that, then there'll be a disappointment.
So go on.
I would not be just if I can get one that just goes and the
Mhm.
light comes out, doesn't have to cut anything, doesn't have to interact and
I'm sure they can make that.
I just want it to
You want one where there's nothing there and then a light actually comes out.
yes,
I'll
and that's
say,
like
'cause-
impossible. I don't know how you could do it because
Yeah.
I don't know how you stop the light. I'm not a fucking
Can't.
scientist.
holograms.
Yeah, you got to go on YouTube though and look up like custom lightsaber builds.
Oh,
There's
I've seen some
people
crazy
that
shit.
build some fucking dope ass ones with like actual flame, like they have like a gas tube, and then they're actual like they can actually cut through shit.
Wow.
They're
Really?
dope as fuck, bro. Yeah, go on YouTube and look. I got sucked in and watched a bunch of them one day because they like custom made the handles, and then they turn them on, and it's
Yeah.
like a gas, some kind of gas tube that pumps it through, and then when they click it on, it like lights up, but it's like actually works.
You can cut something.
Yeah,
Dude,
bro.
Can you imagine?
How do they stop it?
It's just like a switch on and off. To
No,
like,
but I'm saying like how do you stop the flame from it just runs out of
Oh,
the room or like is it
yeah,
like a
'cause there's-
torch?
there's like a glass pipe thing on there that like feeds the gas through it.
Okay.
So then when they turn on the gas or whatever, think about it like on your grill, you got the coils inside that the gas comes out of, and that's the only part that lights up.
So you have a handle and a
You have
long
a handle and then like
stem
a
of
like a rod or something.
okay. I thought you were saying the fire like came out. I'm like, how the fuck are you not just like,
yeah. So it's like a clear like glass tube or whatever that feeds everything through it. So then when it turns on, it looks like just the lightsaber part, but it actually fucking works.
I want to see a robber break into that house,
bro.
Could you imagine?
Get your ass fucked up by a lightsaber.
Dude, super dope. So I think that's all we have. You got a money mindfuck for this week?
Yes, I did actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Want to do a money mindfuck before we call it?
I'm doing real quick. All right, guys.
Okay.
Now, because last week's was so clean cut.
Oh yeah, it was clean cut, all right.
We're gonna make this one pretty dark and disgusting.
Here we go.
Before we go that route, this is the dark thing. I wanted to say this earlier. That Lego show.
Yeah.
One of the challenges, they had kids come in. You know those stories you would write where you'd fill in the blanks with whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they had a bunch of kids there, and they had one of those. And then the challenge was they had to build their Lego thing based on the story. They asked this one little kid like what he wanted like a monster to be or whatever. I can't remember the name of it, but he was like, it's a lady with blood all over her face and she comes from under your bed and eats you and stuff. And one of the kids was like, that's kind of weird. And Will's like, that's real dark. He's like, I like the darkness, bro. It's like this little Asian kid, and everyone was just like, they just like clipped to the side.
Go sit down, Kylo Ren.
Bro, it was so. He's like, I like the darkness.
That's dope.
It was super awkward. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Somebody's bringing
it's like
that home.
A 4 or 5 year old, like a little kid. It was like, what's going on at your house, bro?
Yeah.
All right, money mindfuck, Chris.
Okay, so the situation this week is how much money. Let me explain it after I say it too. Okay, how much money would it take you to drink a full drum of spit? I get to pick any 10 people that you guys know.
How big is the drum?
To spit in it. We'll say, what? Not even we'll say a 1 gallon gasoline.
Filled with spit?
Yeah.
Who's spit?
I get to pick any 10 people from your life.
Do we know ahead of time who they are?
No.
I don't think you could pay me, bro. A gallon is a lot of fucking spit.
What, we have like a time frame? Like you have to chug it in an hour or 30 minutes? You got a year?
You have 10 minutes to drink it.
Oh, I couldn't get it down. I don't think that I can't drink spit. I can't do it.
I don't think
so. $1 million, I couldn't pay you to drink that for 10 minutes.
I just have to drink it for 10 minutes, or I have to finish it.
Well, there has to be progress made. I have to see it going down. Like,
and I can't throw up, or it doesn't matter.
I'm throwing up, bro.
If you throw up, you have to keep drinking it anyway. Like you have to.
Right, but I could drink it and throw it up, and then just keep going back to it and just sit there and cry.
Sure.
I could do it for $1 million, but it'd be fucking. I mean, if I don't have to keep it down, I could do it for $1 million.
Now think about this though, too. Like
you're not giving me like an AIDS patient, right?
But
like,
that's the thing though. It's any 10 people that I want. So you have to think from your life, like, is there anybody I know that has, maybe a disease or something like that?
Oh, well, fuck no. I'm not doing it then. I'm not going to get AIDS for $1 million.
I mean, look at Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson has more than $1 million.
Magic Johnson owns Starbucks.
Bro, I don't know. I just don't know if I could physically even do it. Like, I get grossed out by stuff real easy. Like, especially something like that. Bro, I try and drink cough medicine, I'll throw it up.
Yeah.
You could give me a gallon of warm fucking milky just
$1 million. You wouldn't attempt it?
I don't remember what it was.
But do I get the money regardless, or I only get the money if I finish?
I'm just asking you from an attempting. Like, so like I have $1 million in a briefcase and I say, Ryan, get to work now. You're just going to sit there and go, I'm not doing it.
No, for $1 million, I'm going to try it. But like there was a medicine I had to take one time. I don't remember what it was for, strep throat or some shit, but it was like a thick liquid.
Yep.
And that was like,
like God, I hate throwing up. It's like one of the most awful things ever. And I'm just thinking about drinking that.
Throwing up does not bother me, for the record,
bro. It's awful.
I would rather be throwing up than have like a cold, because I don't like that weakness feeling.
Yeah.
I would much rather puke my guts out.
Throwing up, the worst part about throwing up is the smell of the toilet. You ever notice that?
That is the worst.
When you go to throw up and you get close to the toilet, toilets have this weird smell to them.
Yeah.
It's not even like dirty toilet, but they give off this. If I'm on the brink of throwing
porcelain.
up, the second I get down next to that toilet, it's fucking flowing, bro.
Yeah.
I smell that weird smell from the toilet bowl, and it's over.
That smell is shit.
No, it's not that.
So
It's your pubic hair that's all around the edge of the fucking toilet.
I promise you it won't be for a disease. Like the people that
they are not going to be.
They don't have a disease. It's just regular.
I will not
spit.
get sick. It's just spit.
Yeah. Well, you might get sick because you're drinking.
Sure.
Like, you know,
I might throw up, but I'm not going to get anything that's going to severely injure me.
Maybe the flu.
Okay. Yeah, I would do it for $1 million.
I mean, look, I'm going to try. I don't know if I'm going to, as long as I'm getting the money, as long as I try, I'm doing it.
No, if I'm giving you $1 million, I want half that thing gone.
Come on, man.
Dude, I could chug pretty quick.
Can you though, when it's fucking warm, frothy?
Yes.
In this,
for $1 million
in this gasoline nozzle,
dude, for $1 million, I'm putting that. I'm telling you, give me a wide mouth cup, and I'm going getting it down real quick, and boom, I can drink a bottle of water in like 3 seconds. A half a gallon is like 4 bottles of water.
You're talking you're talking a half gallon. You think of a milk jug.
Yeah,
half of that.
I could get it down.
I could probably get it down. Is this like the first one where people are gonna know?
I don't give a fuck if you know. I have $1 million. This isn't the same as everybody seeing me fuck somebody. Like,
I think shame is part of it. So yeah,
I'm not ashamed.
Jesse's doing it for $1 million. Chris,
Fear Factor people have done worse for 50 grand.
Bro, you ain't catching me on that show.
Oh, you catch me on that show for $1 million.
Catch me on
for $1 million. I need a bull testicle.
How much is it taking you, Chris?
I know some nasty fucking people, dude.
How much is it? How much is it taking you?
If I don't get like permanent sick,
it's the person you hate the absolute most in this world. It's all just their spit. And they get to do it in front of you.
See, that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is the people who are like missing 3 teeth and don't brush regularly and just ate food.
Do you know people like that?
Yeah,
I do.
I'm not friends with them, but I know them.
Yeah, so if I can't get like permanent sick,
you're not gonna get permanent sick.
Like I don't mind getting the flu or anything like that, but like if I don't get permanent sick, I'll do it for $2 million. $1
million changes your life.
Not really. Is it tax free?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's in a briefcase. I'm just handing it to you.
Yeah. I mean, $1 million is a lot of money.
It changes your life. But it's not something you can retire on, but it changes your life.
Right. But the thing you have to think about too is if I'm giving you all that money, you have to make an effort for me. Like in terms of, half of that thing, like half is not asking a lot in the grand scheme of things. You are getting $1 million, man. Half of that thing is not bad. Half a gallon.
It's disgusting. And I don't think I could get it down or keep it down. But I'm gonna fucking try.
Well, you can hurl. It's just the second you do, I'm like, all right, get back on it. Let's go.
I'm gonna puke my guts out. I'm gonna be crying, and I'm fucking come do this. And then I'm gonna have $1 million.
It's hard for me because I'm not super motivated by money. Like money isn't a big motivation to me.
So what do you want?
I don't like. I don't know. Like that's just
if you make it a competition.
Ooh,
like me and you got to go and the winner gets the $1 million.
Yeah,
that shit ain't coming up.
That's the thing. So that's where I'm driven by success. I'm driven by notoriety. Like that's like at work. Like people are like, well, why don't you want to move up because you're going to make so much more money? I'm like, no, I like to be good at my job. That's what drives me. I like to be successful. Just money in itself, it's got to be to the point of like, I can walk away from everything I have for it to be motivating enough. If it's just like $1 million and cool, I'm paying my house off, I'm still gonna have to fucking work for the rest of my life. It's not that motivating to me. Throw in something like that where it's more of like a challenge type thing, then I'm gonna be a little bit more like involved. But
when I was in high school, my youth group would once a year do an event called Super Slop Night.
Sounds awful.
It was awful.
One time at band camp.
It started off with just like a food fight where they had like flour and mustard and ketchup and all this other shit. Whoever was the cleanest got knocked out. So you're just like getting destroyed by other people. Then they had like all these other random ass games where it was like, one was like a, what the fuck did they have? They had bobbing for like Hershey Kisses and baked beans that were uncooked. There was,
I wouldn't mind that so bad.
You had a blitzed Happy Meal. So they got a Happy Meal, put it all in a blender, and then you had to chug it.
What's wrong with that?
It's milk. They had
a milk. You're taking
it's a Happy Meal.
You take a McDonald's Happy Meal.
I thought you said a
burger,
Blizzard.
Fries, drink, all,
and then you had to drink it.
And then you had to drink
What do you
it.
get for it?
Notoriety and fame.
No, I'm not doing that.
I was a 2-time champ. If you put a competition on it, I'm not losing.
Okay. So here we go then. You versus Ryan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Each other spit. You have to drink Ryan's. He has to drink yours.
No issue.
No issue.
If it's a competition, I'm not going to lose. He brushes his teeth. See, I play dirty. As soon as he gets up there, I know he's squeamish. I'm going to be going. I mean, I'm going to be like spitting and having it hang into the barrel and then finally like flopping in there.
Bro, I'm soft. I ain't got no problem admitting I'm soft. I'm gonna be puking.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna be fucking with
I'm
you.
Be puking in your bucket while you're trying to drink it.
Well, that's not okay. But it's okay. Like if you puke, it's just the second you get that done, I'm gonna say, let's go back onto it.
And the best part is if once you get
So
that pukey
grossed
feeling,
out.
you get like that really like thin spit. So that's what he's gonna be putting into mine. It'll go down like water. My stuff's gonna be frothy and.
And that's our show.
I'm so grossed out.
I do it for $2 million.
I'm just so grossed out. I just that kind of stuff, man.
For Jesse's alone, I'd probably do it for like 1,000.
Hell yeah.
You would drink Jesse's spit, a gallon of it for $1,000?
Because it's just Jesse's alone. I would do it for 1,000.
Let's do a GoFundMe. Let's do that for the show. We raise $1,000 and make Chris drink a gallon of Jesse's
It's gonna be
spit.
harder for me to spit into a full gallon bucket. Like you're gonna have to let it sit.
Oh God, bro. It's gonna get all warm.
Like whenever I had all that drainage and stuff from COVID, I had a spit cup. That shit does not fill up quickly.
That's another thing too. It's like, you don't know who's infected with that. So
I'll just microwave it.
Oh my God.
COVID's gone.
I asked 10 people, they could lie to me and say, "Oh, I don't have COVID."
All right, bro.
We're good.
Yeah, I don't know. It would take. I mean, no less than $1 million by any means. I'd probably roll
Yeah.
with Chris a $2 million.
Yeah,
tax
for
free
10 people. Yeah, for Jesse,
It doesn't matter how many people.
Jesse 1,000. I would attempt it.
I know I'm not getting sick. You said.
Yeah,
So.
I don't think the people part really bothers me. It's just the quantity of spit. Like it could be 100 people's spit. As long as it's still only in a gallon, that I don't really care.
So we had a kid in grade school. Now this will be the last story. We had a kid in grade school named Kenny, and he would do it for nothing. Like he would do it.
Like he actually did it.
Yeah. So like
a gallon.
We would take it around, and like we would spit in this like cup of napkins. Everybody would, and he'd take it at the end of it, and he would just knock it back like that. I swear to God, dude.
And that kid isn't in an insane asylum in a padded room now, or he's killed
That
someone.
legitimately made me fucking
Or
gag.
he's dead.
Yeah.
So you guys used to circle jerk,
Well, yeah.
basically.
I mean,
God.
You're right.
All right.
That's the session for you guys.
Hope
Thanks
we've
for tuning
motivated
in.
you.
Yeah. That's replaced the Made to Motivate segment. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, tell your friends, watch the YouTube, Patreon. You can send some money to. We appreciate it. Maybe we'll raise enough money for Chris to drink Jesse's spit.
Do it.
Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. That is Made to Motivate podcast. Make sure you tune into the show every week. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube so you know when the new videos launch. And check out our pages individually if you can. We appreciate the support. At Jesse Unk SI on Twitter. Chris the Film Freak Kessinger. Check out the Film Freak review page on Facebook. And I am Ryan Weiss. You can check out rockeverywhereinc.etsy.com to follow my art and apparel page. We appreciate the support. And of course, at Made to Motivate podcast on all social media sites. Thanks again, and we'll check you next week.